Hello. What? Chirp, chirp, peep, peep. Gotta wake your heart up. Is your heart asleep? We gotta wake her up by tapping into your inner child and making it magical, singing a song. Did you know that your heart is associated with psalm or songs? A psalm or a song is a song in your heart that needs to be set free like a bird. And if our heart is not set free like a bird, we're like a robot. Welcome to Forest Fairy. My name is Mary Moses, and we are about to tap into someone's energy to see the blueprint of their soul. If the blueprint of their soul takes us to ancient Egypt, Armenia, maybe some far off land, maybe fairyland, wherever it is, we're going to find out who we were, where we're going, and we're going to play around with these ideas in hopes to take us to our highest timeline, our highest self, and to just kind of live in perfect harmony. I just hear these words, perfect harmony. I love it. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world some spring water, so you drink something really good for you. Don't you drink the Coke? So when you're a robot, you are so cute, but it's a time when your heart chakra is not really open. So hello, robot. Can you say hi to everybody? Oh, you're not going to turn on? Let me see. Where's the little button here? What's the matter with your batteries? Oh, you're making a weird noise. What are you doing? You're grumbling. Why are you grumbling like a dog? Can you say hi? Hi. Do you really want to become a real boy one day? What's up? You want to play? Yeah. We'll play in a minute. We're going to talk to little baby bird right now. You're my pal. We are in the belly of the mother right now, and this is birthing life. Not right now. I know you're bored, but not right now. I love you too. You may give you a kiss. Mwah. And when we are in the belly of the mother, we hatch out of an egg and we begin to see and hear God for the first time. And so we turn into a pretty little bluebird that wants to fly over the 7 colors of the rainbow, and we change from a tree to a fairy. So we are in the womb of the Great Mother, according to many of my readings. You're my best friend, too. Robot gets so bored. What about you, bird? Are you bored, too? You're not? You're almost ready to fly out. One day, we're going to see you out of the belly of the Great Mother. Say bye-bye to Robot. We're going to go to the office and go read now, okay? So you can go sleep. Hopefully he's done talking. He's a little creepy because randomly he just turns his head and looks at me and says, "You're my best friend." And it's really creepy. And even the bird randomly in the middle of the night just will start talking. The whole place is full of life here. We have all kinds of props and things that we make here to enchant and delight the heart, to wake you guys up that you are creators and you can create anything you want. You can take something that is not real, turn it into something real, and make a magical place within your life, your heart. And so here we go into the magical butterfly room to go and talk to spirit. If you've never been here before, I've been doing this for TikTok about 4 years and maybe a little longer. And I've actually read for thousands of you guys. And we explore the depths of all of our souls in hopes to find a consistent pattern. And we follow these patterns and these truths in hopes to find the bullseye, the truth, and the truth of why has this realm been so painful? Why are there so many manipulations? Why are there so many lies, even in our conventional religions? Why? Why can't we just be told the truth? Why is power taken from us? And why are we fed things that really aren't that great for our bodies and things like that? Well, these truths are starting to pop out like an egg, and we're starting to see the truth. And it's my hope not to fill you with fear, but to just leave that behind in a garbage pile somewhere and burn that pile and say, hey, guess what? I found a new place. Let's go there. We're all going to be powerful. It's all our timeline. We're authentic. We love each other. We share. We go with a divine flow and a divine order, and we don't get upset. We don't get offended. All of that. This is the place I see in my mind's eye. So if you want to come with me, then we can twirl like a pretty little girl and blow some bubbles, making wishes, talking to Zoltar. Zoltar, what a message do you have for us today?
Someone once asked if I could make them big. Sleep will bring you the same answer I gave that day. Tomorrow your answer will be yes. Keep me by your side in case you need me in the future. I have a feeling you will.
Really? So, what I love about Lizzie, I just got off the phone with Lizzie. Lizzie is air energy, number one. And this air energy seems to be very light, full of courage and faith. A couple of other cards are a time to reflect and some help. And I think that I'm the help, and I'm sure that you're asking other people for help when it comes to, connecting the dots. We're going to play dot to dot, doing, 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 doing. And the dots create truth once you connect them, right? So these dots are helping you understand that your faith and understanding that things really do kind of unfold in a beautiful way. And you have the courage to see that. You have the courage to ask for help and reflect on these truths. And we're going to do a short meditation, you and me, where I'm going to turn you into a child. Remember what he said with the movie Big, right? All right. So, sniffing frequency up your nose. The Egyptians used to do this. They used to take the ankh and hit the ankh. It's entangled with my other necklace. And sniff the frequency up their nose because your pineal gland is there, your pituitary gland is there, and your brain has 88% water. When frequency hits water, it turns into a snowflake. This snowflake gives you information. This information is in your brain. It's around your brain. So, sniffing frequency, the new drug. All right, you guys ready to get into a new drug? The new drug known as frequency sniffing. And you cannot see the frequency, yet it goes straight up your brain. And I don't know what it does, but I think it's fantastic. It gives me a lot of life energy, and I love it. So, Lizzie, you and I are, for some reason, you and I are like 2 years old, and you and I are on rocking horses. Rocking back and forth, rocking back and forth. It's really, really fun until you get really dizzy, right? And so you and I got dizzy. We got off the rocking horse, and you are showing me something in your house, and the doors are really tall, and you're like, follow me. Anytime I do a meditation with you guys, and you guys don't really look at me, and you have me follow you, this means that you have something in your energetic body that I don't know about. You are actually here to teach me and everyone here something that you know deep in your soul. Maybe like if you did hypnotherapy, you would see it. So anyway, you're showing me something, and there's this beautiful chandelier in the living room. And you live in a place that looks like, in my mind's eye, is like Gone with the Wind. And there's this giant chandelier and this staircase, 2 staircases. One goes this way, one goes that way. So we go into the chandelier place, and suddenly you're 7 years old. And now we're going and running around the table in a circle. So before we were rocking back and forth, now we're going around the table, skipping, happy. We go outside, and you have a kite. Looks like a Merkaba. And we fly kites in the wind. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. You have this pretty outfit on that allows wind to touch your skin. It's not silk, but it's like see-through. And it's not naughty. It's just a communication that you should allow the wind to touch your skin. And so allowing the wind to penetrate your pores and into your skin will help to awaken your neurological pathways and your neurons and the cell-to-cell communication to electrify your physical body. The kite is a communication to allow your connection to God to accentuate through what you put on your skin. Whether it's the wind or whether it's linen or cotton, certain clothing actually has death energy, certain clothing has life energy, and we'll talk about that at the end. But I see who you are. You began this life bouncing back and forth, and then spinning around in a circle, and then finally connecting with the wind, and then finally understanding that you are a vessel that connects to God. You are the vessel. You are the holy temple. So let us begin. We begin by awakening Mushi. Wake up, Mushi. Mushi's our butterfly. Mushi loves to give you kisses. Mushi has a beautiful, beautiful color to her wings. And she's going to anoint your piece with rose essential oil that has over 320 hertz frequency. Did you know that your body resonates between 70 and 100 hertz frequency? If you're sick or have a compromised immune system, you're about 62 hertz. People who begin to die, they are about 25 hertz. So think in terms of frequency, and we are going to add life to your piece by Mushi giving you some of the rose essential oil that Mushi has collected from roses. Thank you, Mushi. And here we go. If I hear a song, there may be one word for you or one lyric, I don't know. One verse that could be for you. Say, say, say what you want, but don't leave me, 'cause I love you. Take, take, take what you need, but don't leave me. Girl, to get through to you, 'cause I love you, baby. Through the years, baptized in all my tears, to get through to you, you know I'm crying. Ooh, 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 ooh. Say, say, say what you want, but don't leave me, 'cause I love you. I see a wolf. I see that you are holding a portal. I see that you have a crown that looks like a portal. I see a duck. You have Isis energy. You have the mother goose. You have the all-seeing eye that looks like the eye from Lord of the Rings. That is a place that you left. It's 4 towers, not 2. And it's a kingdom that you have left behind, a kingdom of that was made by tears. So you have Atum, and you have the name Mary in your piece. It says Mary, and then it says belong, sorry about something that happened a long time ago, busy. There's something someone's saying to you. They're like, hello. And then the God there's has the name like Mama, and then I thought I saw the name Ham. Now I know that there's a God named Ham, and I don't know anything about him. So you have a lot of energies here, and especially you have some energies that are trying to communicate with you from the spirit world. They are telling you that you are part of 144,000 in your DNA. You came here Well, looks like to me like an earth angel in some strange way, but you definitely woke up the wolf within you. You're turning into the wolf now. My friend John says that when you turn into the wolf, you have broken out of an egg and have illuminated from the inside out. The dark ones can no longer see you nor detain you. You have ascended out of a Valhalla. There's Valhalla down here also. Valhalla, it's a hall. Valhalla, it's a place. And then here is a circus tent. This is 1111. It's a prison. You came out of a prison. You aren't in a prison anymore. You have so many symbols on top of each other. It's very, very strong reading. So strong, in fact, that I'm not sure who to bring out, because you have like a Christ being here. You have just to let you know, if you miss any portion of this, you can go to my page on YouTube, Mary Moses Art, and all of the videos are posted there, so you can rewatch this. You have some sort of witch-looking energy here, and I'm not sure if it's a good thing. I'm not really sure. And you are it looks to me on the spirit realm that you are a shield and you block people. You block, your arm stretches out and you're the protector. You protect. Your body, your astral self actually serves as not only a portal of escape, but to block energy. So if there's parasites, principalities, and powers trying to feed off of people in the unseen world especially, you protect. You're a blocker. You actually open new vents or doorways to, well, kind of like what we talked about, bring in new air from an old place. So let's go ahead and begin. You do have a king over here that is keeps changing faces, from a lioness to a bearded man that also has a protective arm that is a gatekeeper. This is an ancient Egyptian concept, but this is a concept I understand fully well, and it says Hep. You're here to help. All right, let's go ahead and go forward. It's just so much. It's just so much. There's so many people coming forward. So let's go ahead and bring the wolf out. It was the very first energy that I saw. The very, very first significant symbol. And the wolf has ears that make the letters AA. I do know a god named Akhenaten that has the letters AA, but I'm not quite sure yet. Now, there are many aspects to yourself. And one of them, you are about 13. You're smiling. You're a key, by the way. You're a shield and you're a key. Some people are a lock. This means that that there are people who have gifts in the physical. A key is somebody who has very strong presence in the ethereal world. And so you have the key of Solomon. Now, the goose is connected to Isis. She is the mother goose, who ushers souls. And you have your arm going through time here, your hand making the cosmic turtle. And this means that you are a pretty significant protector against jerks. It says S-A, and then S-A, and then A, and then X. And it says Zion, AA. You have so many communications. There's a place it has 4 towers. Usually I see 2 towers. This one has 4 towers. And you have the all-seeing eye right here from like Lord of the Rings. And this all-seeing eye, it says, Amen. All right. There was that witch right there. There's negative energy here. But you have the most beautiful owl. So here's what your spirit looks like it secretly does. This was a witch. Somebody who doesn't produce their own power. Someone who feeds off of others, especially the innocent and the ignorant. And your double went inside the face of this dark energy like a witch and went into the body of this witch, unbeknownst to the witch, of course. Because see, artificial intelligence and especially entities or parasites on the spirit realm, some of them aren't very smart. And so you go inside their minds and you transform their mind into your mind. And they don't remember who they are. They get transformed through the owl. So you have a lot to do with holding kingdoms and memory. So you have this kingdom. They look like you're a scroll opener now. What I know about scrolls is it's memory. You manipulate the dark ones. And this is you as a shield. So there's some person standing here, like a female. She's really pretty. She's like a mother in a way. And she is handing you a shield. So think of Bella from Twilight, okay? The shields is more than we can imagine. So a shield is sometimes has to become a jerk. What does that mean? Okay, for what I do is I go on the spirit realm. I see through the eyes of my spirit guide. See, you have this God here. And this is a kind person. This is somebody that an energy that you work with. It's a male. He's holding a person who's died in their hands. Someone who has died. Anyway, so here you are opening portals, and this energy helps you open a portal through the symbol of the bird. So this bird is your astral self. It's the unseen world. It's secret world. It's all kinds of things. So, and this is a crown that is also a portal. And there's thousands of souls getting saved out of darkness from a bunch of jerks. And there's a tower that has fallen over. And it has a whole bunch of names here. You have Ham. You have this Mama name. You have these men seated around a table. They are... well, let me get a little pen. Let's bring out the little intricacies. Okay, hold on a second. I'm sorry. This female says, there's a snake that's protecting a realm, okay? Like a snake. And then there's a book here. And then on the book is time. There are people who are stuck in time, like reptilians. They cannot get out of the book of life, known as time, your physical body being here. And these things try to get out. And what they do when they get out is they don't have any power, and they go and attach themselves to innocent beings, and you're the shield. So here she is reaching her hand over your wall and putting a dark soul in here. And and the dark soul gets put into a pyramid like a firmament. And this soul is like a star, but it's just dark, it's dark. And it has to become illuminated, so it has to go to a prison. All right, and so this person works with you. You guys make the number 1111 with your arms, 11. And then under his arm are these beings that are all seated around a table that is an eye. It's like a hologram. And then here is a circus tent with these pillars that make 11. And this is the prison. You guys are prison guards. You are a prison guard. But you're also a shield. So, let me get my pen. So here you are in the upper world. This pyramid, a dark soul goes into this pyramid. They get sent down here. They go into a prison. They go into the belly of Baal. They go to Baal. And then these beings are looking at them like a hologram around a table. They are being watched. And some of these beings that are seated around the table are invisible. But almost all of them look like they're male. There is a wolf there. And in the table, it's like an upside down world. It says, demon. And so if these dark beings that don't know how to produce their own light and they feed off of others, this is my temporary opinion about this, I'm not sure about this yet, they get put into a reality where they have the opportunity to illuminate themselves from the inside out. And if they don't, then they can stay there. There's a child in this place that looks like a carousel on a horse. And he looks like a clown, right? And he's wearing a clown outfit. And there's a horse here. And he's riding on this horse. And it's like a carousel going round and round. This carousel will always, it's the same old story over and over and over and over again. The horse going up and down, up and down, up and down. The dark ones will stay in a simulated reality until they learn to illuminate themselves from the inside out. And if they don't, then they get to stay there. All right, so you and a male counterpart of yours work together to keep the dark ones where they belong. So here is that pyramid where that soul was descended, a fallen angel. All right, now it says, from Max, from May. There's somebody who is trying to communicate with you, and they're just like trying really hard for me to see something that they're trying to communicate to you. So it says C. I see. I'm trying. So I don't know if you have a grandmother or some kind of mom energy, but it just keeps saying mom or some kind of G mom or mom. So there's some communication about a mom energy. All right. So, and here is a female here smiling. And this is a person who is a prison itself. Their arms are like her arms are like your arms. And inside the body of this place, this is a place. And there's a beautiful female in there with a pretty star on the head, like illuminated. And almost like a Mother Mary looking energy. And I guess this is a place, and it had AR whomever this is really, really likes to write words, not put symbols. And they're just changing the letters right before my eyes. So just be aware that I could be wrong about what I just brought forward. But anyway, this is a place with dragons. And there's a fire-breathing dragon there. And it says PHI, Phi. And this is a crown above the head. And then there's a symbol of memory blooming out like a rose for those who have become illuminated from the inside out and no longer steal or lie or tell lies or are no longer infected by the curses of their families or anything like that. They've actually cleared and cleaned themselves from the inside out. They will regain memory through you. Now, it says Ararat, and then you have a rat on your head. And I don't want you to think that this is a parasite. I don't want you to think that this is negative. And I think I know what this means, and I'm pretty sure I know what it means. And I'm pretty sure it's a good thing. It's really about eternal life. The rat symbolizes eternal life and the purification process of turning white as snow. The Adam going into the Eve, and no longer being in a prison. So, I don't know why it reminds me of the movie Dr. Manassian, where you go into his little carnival tent, and if you are an alcoholic, if you are a murderer, a liar, a thief, and you get all these chances to choose life, to choose to be unselfish, to choose to hear God and to see God and speak God. You have all these chances, like a million. And in the movie Dr. Manassian, this one guy was an alcoholic and just wouldn't stop. So these demons came and took his soul and was going to take him to a very, very bad place. And the guy screamed and said, please, no, please, I'll never drink again, please. And they've set him free. And he was like, thank God, And over time, he went back to the bar to go get alcohol, and to be an alcoholic, to be selfish, to not realize that what you do and what you think hurts everybody, not just yourself, right? And this person couldn't hear or see God. So it was their last chance. And they go into the bar and they drink the alcohol, and the bar blows up. And they just led us to believe that the soul was taken over by demons. So look, there are worlds, and this is a net. The Egyptians call it, your body is an ethereal net. This makes a net. And this world has a net over it. To be a master of the net is an Egyptian concept, but it's also a concept that Christ said, let us cast our nets and be fishermen of men, right? To be a master of the net is to understand the different pockets of reality, parallel realities. But for those who are illuminated from the inside out and go through a purification process, we are shown a secret portal to a dimension of life and freedom. But for those who choose to not forgive and choose to not be aware of how our thoughts, our feelings, our actions affect everybody and everything, including the butterfly effect of all of our futures collectively, they don't ever get to escape. Not ever. So, you have A-E and then I-Y, and there's E-L, the god El, and you have a young girl. Now this is, I don't know what this is, but this is a young girl who has eyes like Noah. This is someone who has become illuminated from the inside out. And there's someone, if this isn't a part of you, I don't know, a young girl who is becoming illuminated and leaving Amen, the god Amen. It's a place. All gods are a place. So Yeshua was Yah, moon. Shua is the sun. Solomon is Sol, sun. Oman, moon. And these places are all about lower and higher realms. They are pockets within the net that have a name. So I believe that Mary name that I saw over here is connected to that Ararat. And so, you have this M. Here's the secret. Everyone in this world is a mirror of ourselves. When we are born as an innocent child and we get abused by people around us, we are experiencing pieces of ourselves from an innocent perspective. That innocent perspective looks at those people and judges them and says, how dare you, you're disgusting, you're a demon, I hate you, right? And we often adopt the curses of our mother, our father, and we end up bearing that burden. And it's not necessarily cruel, it's just we have to make a decision to forgive pieces of ourselves because we were a jerk. We were Hitler, we were a jerk. We hurt people, we hurt ourselves. We didn't know what we were doing. And so true forgiveness is realizing we could have been everyone in that reality. And then when we forgive all of those pieces of ourselves, whether we were the alcoholic, whether we were the drug addict, whether we were a child abuser, an animal abuser, whatever we were, we can start igniting ourselves from the inside out through forgiveness and letting go. And then we move up. And from there, we may end up being like the big bad wolf blowing down the house of the pigs. The pigs were the jerks. The wolf is the good guy. The pigs could not illuminate themselves from the inside out. So the wolf tries to break the egg from the outside in. And if the egg breaks from the outside in, you get sent back down. You have to illuminate from the inside out. So the wolf is there to teach us how to break our genes and our energy from the inside out so that we aren't dominated by gens and our genes dominating us. This is why Genesis starts with genes. But you're the shield. There's a piece of yourself that comes from a long, long time ago. You are the cloaked one that has a white face. You are the Illuminati. I don't believe are connected to the illuminated ones. Noah is an illuminated one. Let me mean everything here. Your spirit guide currently is a dragon, and you have birds, and you have a lot of bird energy, but you come from the original Adam and Eve. All right, so let's explore and talk about this. So here is where you are currently. A piece of you is there. We are in the year 2023. This is the year of the white rabbit. If you think of the white hair, think of the white hair of Noah. And the white hair of Noah is when Noah was born, his eyes shone out like a light and lit up the whole room. This is an allegory of there comes a time when the days of Noah return and we become illuminated from the inside out. That is this year, 2023, the white water rabbit. All right, so let's talk about this. It says Yah. All right, I know what this means. I know who you are. So that's you in a cloak. You're illuminated. That's you. That's you. And I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a piece of yourself that has not risen because you've got work to do here in this lower realm. I'll explain all of this to you in just a second. We're going to begin with understanding the rat, Ararat, and Mary, and Yah. Then we're going to talk about how you are in the threefold flame, getting ready to balance into your fourth. And we're going to talk about this as sacred geometry and how to understand yourself as a shield. You as a shield will have to train your physical body and your physical brain in special ways that you will be like an oracle stuck in a tower. You cannot allow yourself to think a certain way like the rest of the world. As a shield, you have a responsibility and a job to think in a specific way, and I will also explain that to you. Okay, so here we go. These are the truths that I've been taught from doing many readings and from connecting the dots. Be aware that your piece probably has way more information than I'm able to reveal because Spirit has the ability to do a million things all at once. This is called a telepathic vision. We created our own television through telepathy. And this is how we communicate with God about who you are and where you are and all of that. So, good news is you're not in the prison. All right. So, once upon a time in Armenia, there was a god named Ar that was androgynous, both male and female. They are the original Adam and Eve that don't die, they live forever. These beings have the ability to be a place or a person. They can be a time. If you are in the body of a god, you may be in the age of Pisces, which would be Christ, Yeshua. This would be the moon and the sun energy, going from darkness to light. So this god named Ar had a wife named Haya. And you wouldn't say Ar or Haya, they were the same person. And Ar was the god of the sun, Haya was the name of the moon, as Yah means moon. But the name Ha means that it was a place that dominated the moon, so it was a good place. In Armenia, this is where the Ark was found, so think of the word Ar. The Ark seemed to have been found on Mount Ararat. look at the word rat. When you're thinking about Mary, think of the name R in her name. The original Christ, the energy of Christ has come here many times. One of the names of Christ was Zoroast. The other was Mithra. And the other was supposedly Jesus. Each one of these beings were born of a virgin, died and resurrected, and all three of them said, "Drink my blood and live forever." Drink my blood and live forever. Mithra is the myth of Ra, because the god R was changed into the god Ra, both of them being the sun god. So if you spell it backwards, it's actually R backwards. All right. So Mithra from Armenia, Mary, there may be a possibility that Christ is a piece of this male and female god that maybe was born a male, but came from a mother that self-impregnated. Now Mary came from the original Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve that were not separated or cut from each other. They live forever. They are like a dragon. They're called the Sephirim angels, and they actually look like dragons. So the reason Christ was here was, I guess, to be a man, but he may have been Mithra and Mary as one, an androgynous being. They self-impregnate. And Mary's, like Jesus' mother, Mary, self-impregnated. So this Armenian Mount Ararat, out in that area, there are these churches of rats biting people. And these go back to a legend where Armenia is near Transylvania. And Armenia and Transylvania have so many stories of vampires that bite you. And the vampires say, "Drink my blood and live forever," like Jesus and Mithra and Zoroast. But they told these stories to scare people. The truth of the matter is when you connect with these energies telepathically, you actually get downloads that bite you like a vampire, and you begin to illuminate from the inside out. So Mickey Mouse, the Master Mason, Mary Magdalene, Mithra Mary, this MM energy, goes to so many tales, even with Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes talks about the giant rats of Sumatra, and he said human beings aren't ready to hear about these giant rats because they are connected to the vampires of Sussex. But the vampires aren't real vampires. They are simply energies that are the original Adam and Eve. They are connected to a dragon, and they live forever. They do not die. So if you want to be bit by the rat, you have to, we become illuminated from the inside out. But some of us are called here to forget who we were, so that we come to do special things in that realm, in this particular realm, and we forgot who we are, and you are being shown or reminded who you are, where you come from. And you are a shield. As a shield, you have abilities that are beyond people in the 3 dimension. For instance, your double self has the ability as an owl to go inside the consciousness of someone and discombobulate them, confuse them, misdirect them. If someone's trying to feast on a young child, you may go inside them and manipulate them. As a shield, you have the ability to block people from your mind, but you can go in theirs. And you do it you do it in a divine order so that you can bring things to balance, which is out of balance. So you do work with the waters of chaos. And this is the lower gods of Yam, Ham, and the water gods. And the water god is connected to Dagon, the fish god, and Baal. They are the lower realm gods. The higher realm gods are usually a name that ends with Yah, like it's usually a goddess. It's like Gaia, is a illuminated place that dominates darkness, which is the moon. Yah is the moon. Haya is like a hallelujah heavenly place that dominates a prison. Yah. And then there's Freya, is a place of light that dominates Yah. And then there was another one. Gaia, Haya, Freya. Oh, and then there's Emma Yah. She is also a place that dominates the moon. And they all come from Sirius B, the dog star. And the Great Mother, I think is the reason why you have Mama. The MM is, this Great Mother is from an invisible star. This is where the invisible Holy Spirit comes from. It's the invisible air. It's the invisible God. The invisible star is Sirius C, the dog star, which is where the wolf comes in. So now you can see the difference between the vampires and the wolves. In Ragnarok, there's a battle between gods. It's called Twilight. And there literally is a vampire and wolf battle. It's the gods and the lower realm battle. So this invisible god is female energy. The Dogon tribe, it's so funny, they're named Dogon. The Dogon tribe talks about this Great Mother, Emma Yah, which is connected to Freya and Valhalla, that comes into the consciousness of many to awake many people up, to save them and to give them the opportunity to illuminate themselves from the inside out, cracking open their egg in the spring and seeing the sun or God for the first time. It's a rebirth. And so this female is now coming into our consciousness and awakening many people, and that's why you're here. So you as a shield have a job to do. The ark. We'll go back to your piece in a second. You are born, we are all born in Yah. And we have to move from Yah to Shua. Yah means moon. Shua means sun. We are ignorant here. We are in darkness. The Babylonian god of the moon was named Sin. We were born in sin. And we go from Yah to Shua, moon to sun. The funny thing is about when you get to sun, to go from sin to sun, is once you get into the sun and you become born again, or twice born, half flesh, half spirit, you actually go through a pole shift. And it flips you. And all of a sudden, topsy-turvy day, the king becomes the peasant becomes the king, things start really shifting around. We go through a pole shift, and now the sun is in charge of the moon. This is why you had the key of Solomon. This is Sol, which is sun. Oman is moon. You've gone into the temple of Solomon, and you've gone through a major pole shift within you. The mind no longer controls the heart. Now the spirit controls the flesh. The heart controls the mind. And we begin to see the unseen, and we leave behind the material world, where the material world isn't as significant anymore. From there, you get introduced to the Vesica Piscis. This is the eye of the needle. When you go into the eye of the needle, you can only go into the boat, which is the ark, 2 by 2. This means you've been twice born. When you go into the Vesica Piscis, the very first thing you will go through is the baptism of water, the baptism of fire. They are both the Vesica Piscis. From the baptism of fire, you will turn into the Holy Grail. You will empty yourself. You will leave the age of Pisces, same Vesica Piscis. From the age of Pisces, you will get into the ark. This is the boat. While you're in the boat, you may go into the belly of the whale and fight with God. And ultimately, the Vesica Piscis turns into the Ankh, which is eternal life. Now, once you're in the boat and you've been born again, which you have, you're going to, like an embryo, triple. So you're in the ark. You found your spirit animal. It's a dragon. The dragon will try to fight you. It will push you until you find your balance and you hear and see God. Once you speak God and obey God within you and illuminate from the inside out, then your boat, the ark, will find a holy dove. Now, if you don't find the holy dove, you will set free a black raven, and the raven will not find your home. This means that we have not purified ourselves into the color white. But once we have purified ourselves through knowledge and awakening, then the invisible mother will appear, and she is the holy dove. And she is connected to the triquetra. The triquetra is this symbol here. The triquetra is male, female, and spirit, being balanced in giving, receiving, and understanding. Knowing that every day you give away your power. Knowing that every day through thought, action, your diet, cleanliness, you have to get that power back. Otherwise, you'll be powerless, and you have to learn how to feed your spirit. Your spirit is now a baby that needs to be fed and grown so that you can understand what you do on the astral realm. Give, male, receive, female, spirit. So as you give, you must hunt for power to receive fully, or else the power doesn't work. Learning to balance your triquetra really kind of involves envisioning sacred geometry and doing meditations and switching your brain from thinking about people or about the world or about becoming rich or famous or about how you feel to shifting your mind to thinking about mandalas, sacred geometry, numerology, getting into alchemy, and really advancing your knowledge of the voice of God. So, you're going to learn how to send your mind out like a bird. Eventually, if you persist in all efforts and you train your brain to stop allowing people to tap into you and you don't tap into them, and you are nothing but a holy grail that is empty to allow spirit to tell you what to do, what to think, where to go, all these things, then you will again, like an embryo, go to your last place, and that is quadrupling. This is the number 4. So we go from the triquetra to the flower of life. And the flower of life is the 4th heart chakra. It's many things. It's that you've gone through the baptism of water, the baptism of fire. This is infinity. This is the white rabbit. This is many things. This is the white rabbit right here. Make it a white rabbit. And then you have left the age of Pisces and gone into the age of Aquarius. This is the holy dove, which has found your true identity, your true home, your true purpose of half flesh, half spirit. Eternal life, the 4 Vesica Piscuses all together as the olive branch. So, you as a shield are learning to, in your life, must learn to not allow your kite to just go anywhere the wind blows. Your mind has to be protected by the rat. And this means your mind must be as white as snow and purified, because when we use the allegory of Dorothy, who allowed her dog, which is your mind, to go into the garden of the wicked witch, this will mess up your Taurus field. Your Taurus field looks like that. Actually looks like an apple. And if we allow our ethereal net, our invisible net of our power, to get entangled with a reptilian wicked witch, this is the wicked witch of the West, this is the World Wide Web, then your Taurus field will get sucked into a tornado. And you may experience your life falling apart like Dorothy in your house, which represents your physical body, may get sucked up in the tornado. And you may experience getting bumped on the head. And you may experience shifting to another reality dominated by the wicked witch. And if we find ourselves there, then we should know that we died. And somehow our consciousness was able to bounce to a parallel reality, because a broken and empty house is death. So it's really important to seek first the kingdom of God, because if we allow our dog into the mind or the energy of the reptilian, they can connect their energy to ours and suck our energy dry and eat us and feed off of us. So you as a shield have to know how to shield your mind from lower entities. We don't fight flesh and blood, we fight principalities and powers, and some people have parasites. And these parasites often want to control what we think, what we believe even. And they're going to try to get you to vote for this politician, or to believe that, or to see that the world is falling apart. And, oh my gosh, we have no power and there is no God, and nothing's working in our favor, and we're in a prison and we hate these prison guards, right? And so we are projecting our thoughts outside of self all the time, selling our beliefs to a system that is false. But when we go within the heart chakra and we begin to hear the Holy Spirit, or that holy dove here, the invisible mother, she has many names, then we can cut off the Taurus field from the tornado. And we can cut off reptilians, archons, draconians, and we can start seeking first energies that are connected to the ascended masters. And then we can fulfill our purpose. But you have symbols of male and female in your piece, and the male aspect of you is lower than the female. So there's something about your giving and receiving that looks like a kite that must be balanced. When you give to people your energy, your power, your time, anything, you must get it back. Now, you might want to sun gaze with your eyes closed. You may want to go out in nature. You may want to drink clean water, well water, spring water. You may want to activate your water into is H3O2 or H2O3. I don't remember which way it goes. Anyway, that way. And you may want to fill your holy temple up with a lot of power through saying the sound ah, like or getting into any idea that is frequency of life. So if, let's say that we're addicted to sodas or donuts or alcohol or drugs or anything like that, these are all energies that lead to death. Pasteurized, processed, imitation food. We have to see our body as a holy temple of life and begin to give it that, because that's what your holy dove needs to find your branch. We have to feed our spirit, right? So anyway, your kite cannot just blow in the wind. Your mind cannot just be feral and go where it wants. When we bring the Voldemort into Hogwarts, the entire Hogwarts will suffer. So we have to put our kite up and make it go toward the sun, and not tangle it in something, not put your kite in a place that gets tangled in something. Make sure that where we allow our mind to go, there's no place that it can get tangled. And know that spirit is greater than flesh. If you do make a mistake, which I do every day, maybe I don't eat the right thing, maybe I don't drink the right thing, maybe I didn't think the right thought. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect, but you do need to be aware of how our action is a prayer. And every action leads to a butterfly effect that affects not only you, but the collective. So, cleanliness is next to godliness. We clean our house, we clean our car, we clean our thoughts, we clean our relationships, we clean our diet, we clean everything up. And eventually, we awaken and we balance. Here, this is your male-female. Notice the V here. And that M symbol, this is the V. This is the V on the top. It's not quite balanced. Either you're giving too much and you're not feeding yourself, or you're feeding yourself and not giving enough. I don't know, but that has to be balanced. I would guess that you, V, are giving, and you have to feed yourself. So there's somebody that works with you that's part of your spiritual fabric who takes jerks that somehow get in to the heavenly realm and tries to infect the heavenly realm with low self-worth or self-importance. They get put into a pyramid. They get sent down to a prison. They get put into the simulation. They go round and round and round in the lower realms of Dagon the fish god, the god of the sea of chaos. And if they do not learn to illuminate from the inside out, that's so funny because you're a rabbit. Neo, follow the white rabbit. If you do not learn to illuminate yourself from the inside out, then, well, you don't ever get to leave. And that's the story. So you are a gatekeeper. If you want to look up the Egyptian gatekeeper, you can do that. You can look up the story of Inanna, where Inanna was the goddess who was sent to this world to live there forever. And Enoch, was it Enoch? No, Enki? Was it Enki? Yeah, Enki. She was doomed to live here forever. And Enki said, I don't want her to live there forever. So I'm going to take her place in this dark underworld where I will live there half the time and she will live up here half the time. And then when that half ends, Inanna goes back down here in the dark underworld, and Enki, or I don't know if it's this brother of Inanna, it's like they switch. It's like Yah, Shua, Sol, Oman. It's almost as if you have a self that is in the dark world, but when you go through the pole shift, the self that was in the dark world gets flipped, and you go into the light and they go into the darkness. And then somewhere along the line it flips again, and they go into the light and you go into the darkness. It's that story is told time and time again. Zeus sent many people to this dark world, and you can't be rescued from this world unless you get someone who sacrifices themselves for you, like a Christ. And so if you move through the body of Christ, or you get Christ to die for you and sacrifice for you, then the story of Inanna will come true in your life, where you get rescued from this dark place, where the energy of the Christ will live here and you get to flip up there, and you don't have to stay down here. But this story is told in a myriad of different ways. You might like to know that Dagon the fish god's son is Baal. And there is some Dagon fish god energy here as well. So let's talk about this. You tell me what you think. Why does the dark world have animals if they are innocent? I love that question. I really love it. I will do a reading on it because I have anger toward that as well. I find it cruel and unusual. My gut feeling tells me that every living being feeds off of a lower being, and that there is no such thing as death. So, although we may experience a bad death, none of us, not even animals, die. But at the same time, I mean, I'm not just angry that animals die. I'm angry that children die. I'm angry that people die. I'm angry at death itself, you know. But that's a very good question. Does it mean that you stay in the demon world no matter what you do? Well, first of all, Lizzie is not in the demon world. Lizzie has escaped it. And you have illuminated from the inside out. You followed the white rabbit, Neo. And now you're stepping into your gift and your awakening. What I'm saying is there seems to be a story of a pole shift where our consciousness was in a dark world and we bounced to a better world. And I don't know if we'll bounce back here again, but according to the story of Inanna and Zeus, it flips where we go here, there, and then there, here, then there, right? Moon, sun, moon. But according to Christian belief and some Norse belief, like it said Valhalla, there comes a precipice when you become illuminated that you never go back down here. And this is where the saying, Christ says, if you believe me, you can be as powerful as me and you will never experience death and those things. But I honestly don't see how it's possible to take a being of light and stuff them into darkness. I think you have to be dark to go to the dark. But now that we've been illuminated, I honestly don't know. And I don't know how it is possible that we would be able to go back. But you are currently not in the dark world. You have escaped. What does this mean? Can't we look around and see that we are in the dark world? Yes. However, there are pockets within this world where people live in heaven. And there are pockets within this world where people live in a very bad place. You are currently in a pocket where you are not in a bad place. And so you are in a training place right now where you are training to become a master of the net. And it gets pretty detailed. And it's a process. So all of the answers don't come for you right away, but the story of Saruman from Lord of the Rings is coming into play here. Saruman was Solomon. Solomon is a place, sun and moon. Saruman had 2 rings of power, 1, 2, lower one, higher one. Solomon controlled the jinn. The jinn is in your genes. It's connected to the Gentile. So the all-seeing eye of Solomon is that our eyes saw through darkness. But that's Ammon. That's a god named Ammon. Now, Ammon has a pupil that's black, right? But when we go from the black eyes to these white eyes that are illuminated, then we have gone into the days of Noah, the white hair of Noah, the white water rabbit of Noah. Noah was born with eyes that illuminated out. To go from Ammon, the dark eyes of Ammon from the darkness, to the white eyes is a very positive, good symbol that we have shifted from darkness into light. And we are being asked, especially Lizzie, to be a shield in order to dominate Yah, the moon. We have to shield the moon energy. It is always around us and amongst us. Heaven is not here or there or up there or down there. It is among us. If you look at Jesus' words in Aramaic, he says, heaven is neither here nor there. It is among you and within you. And when we illuminate ourselves from the inside out, we begin to bring heaven to us, to earth. But you can still look around and see that some people aren't living in heaven. That's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to shield Yah, the moon energy, and to be responsible for our own thoughts, actions, and our own power and our own energy. And not look at the dark underworld, because people are going to be suffering all the time. And it's not our responsibility to be the hero and save the world, because we do things on the unseen planes. And all our responsibility in this physical body is to collect power. We are a collector of life energy. By being an empty vessel, we say out loud, I am nothing and yet everything. I am no one and yet everyone. I believe nothing, I feel nothing, because I'm waiting for the energy of God to tell me what to do. Because only that energy is truth and life, everlasting, will fill me with joy, connections, love, and grow me appropriately with the true mother and the true father, with the true light. And all the darkness that swims around, if someone comes to me that is dark, and it is in divine timing, then I am meant to help them only in divine timing. I will not go and search for people in the dark world, because it's not my job. My job is to be a lighthouse for souls lost at sea. If they see the light, they can follow it and grow themselves from the inside out, and they can possibly hear some of your teachings. So Lizzie, you are at a place in your life where you should be teaching and learning and helping people see what you see. People who come to your energy will be protected by you. You have a very protective energy. There is some work as far as growing. We're always growing. Always. I can be out of balance. We're all like growing. And so you're doing a great job. You're very adept. You're very powerful. You have a lot of powerful energy, a lot of white energy. You are basically the white rabbit. But you just need to collect power to balance your fourfold flame, your four Vesica Piscuses, your flower of life, so that you have enough power to give, and so that you can see what's happening on the spirit realm. And also, you should be able to hear the voice of God or your higher self and not seek outside of yourself. These answers should come from within you. And this is what I want to push you to becoming the oracle, becoming the voice of God. Because anyone who gets a reading from me, I was told by Spirit, is meant to hear the voice of God and speak the voice of God, whatever you think God is. If it's the divine female, if it's a rabbit, if it's the light, whatever you think it is, whatever you believe it is. When you find that voice and you hear it and you obey it, then you must teach it. And you must become the voice of God, which is an oracle. Yes, practice. We have to practice for improvement. For me, doing these readings every single day, I don't know how. I would look at myself 5 years ago and look at myself doing this today and say, how did I do that? And it was all because Spirit said, don't give up. Keep going. Even though I wanted to give up many times because I didn't know how to shield myself from a bunch of jerks. Right? I didn't know that I was a jerk. And I had to leave myself, which was a jerk. So when you leave yourself, you leave the people connected to that self, and then you ascend. And you start attracting the appropriate people in your life. And it's like a death. But the rebirth is so fascinating, and it will lead you to your power. And it looks to me like your power is a myriad of arms. You do many things. You're a shield. You take jerk demons, jinns, things that feed off of children, reptilians, put them into a prison, and they stay there until they can illuminate themselves. You are a shapeshifter. You are connected to the original God. You are like Isis, and you are like a rabbit, and you came from Dagon and Baal. Possibly, maybe in a past life, you were a sacrifice as a child, because many of us who were raised in the Dagon, the Baal energy, it's like we were in a trap. The 11/11 carnival was named the Carnival, and the carnival was always celebrated predating medieval times on November 11th. This is 11/11. And for the elephant to be stolen from Africa, to be sent to a carnival, to be whipped and chained up and put and made to do things, was from a dark agenda. So somehow some of us were stolen and put into this place. And then we became part of that energy. And we had to go through an awakening to figure out how to escape that world. And for me, it may have been my fault. Maybe I was my mother. Maybe I was my father. Maybe I was my jerk grandfather. And if I was all of them, then I don't want to be a jerk anymore. Sorry, love you. I'm not going to be you. I'm not going to carry your curse and your karma with me. I am not going to shame and blame these parts of myself. I'm not going to be angry at it. I'm going to just say, I've loved you. I've always loved you. Let's go perfect ourselves and not be a jerk anymore. It doesn't matter whether it was my fault or not. I'm going to transmute it like a mushroom, and I'm not going to be a poisonous mushroom. I'm going to be a healthy mushroom, and I am going to become who I was always meant to become. Yes, forgive, move on, love light. Yes. Yes, I have PayPal. It's hrmagoo@earthlink.net. If you want a reading, I'm booked up. Let me tell you. Until I could do one Thursday at 3:30. This Thursday. At 3:30. Let's see. I could do one. Wednesday at 3:30. That's April 5th. Thursday at 3:30. April 6th. Friday, April 7th at 2 o'clock or 3:30 here. So just pick one of those and let me know, but you have to text me. You have to text me right after. John, my friend John, knows a lot about these symbols that are coming forward in your piece. And he likes to talk about them from the perspective of runes, Norse mythology, and the zodiacs. And he will look at your faces and look at them as planets. Me, I am the invisible. I don't see the visible, which means I don't get into tarot. I don't get into astronomy or zodiac signs. I don't get into a lot of those concepts because I bring you truth from the invisible world. So I'm the voice of the invisible, and I see the invisible, and John sees the visible. And so him and I work together with these concepts. Yeah, runes, yeah. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. But I recommend, let me put you at the right place for you to take a screenshot, crop it, contrast it, and definitely study the angles. What else is being said to you here? Why are there eyeballs that look like eggs and a table that looks like an egg? And then why are there square tables that are made out of squares, like the Freemason symbol, or compasses? And why are there the difference between an egg and 90-degree straight angles? These are concepts of prison or not prison. The eye is an egg shape that could either be a prison, or your ethereal net looks like an egg. So the appropriate shape that we should be in is an egg shape or a circle that illuminates. And the Gospel of Philip says that if you are illuminated, the dark ones cannot see you or detain you. So a lot of these shapes are powerful and some of them aren't. I believe that the ones that are not powerful are the symbol of the square, the Freemason symbol. So if you mirror your piece, you'll see this would make the letter M, and the bottom would make the letter W, right? We only see half-truths in this world. So the truth is the mirror. So if you mirror the Freemason symbol of the compass going up and down, it would make MW. So same with you. Yours would be MW, MW. And this is give, receive, balancing your mind and your heart. And when you do this, you become illuminated, and then boom, 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 boom. Follow all the circles. The circles is the way out. Look at them as stepping stones. Now, you can go boom to the Rainbow Bridge. And dun, 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 dun. Then you go into the body of a God. All right? So now you're in the body of a God, and it's a circle. All right? Now you can go straight up from there and go to this illuminated place there. Or that would be the easy way out. Or we go here to here to here. Now you could take this and then go up to this path and go zoom, boom. And these are all places that are the appropriate place. The circles are good, but you do not want to be in there, or in here, or in here, or over here. You want to be here, here, here. Now you can walk to these places. This is the Rainbow Bridge here. But, Toth talks about this, about not following angles, following circles. It gets complex. Just go true north. Right? Oh, you're so right. Here, I got an idea. Astral travel, Zoom. There you go. You know what I like about your reading is you are like Bella. And Bella is a shield from many things. And to be a shield, everybody needs to be friends with a shield. Everybody needs a shield as a friend. Everybody go be friends with Lizzie. Why? Because if something has power and you're unaware, let's say you don't hear God, and you find yourself in a place that you're not meant to be because you didn't hear God, and you don't know what to do about it, and you found yourself in some trouble because of whatever, it's good to have friends that are shields. And that way you can be shielded and then correct your thoughts and your emotions through the squaring of your emotions and your beliefs. This is what the square and the compass means. And once you get squared and you hear the voice of God and you obey the voice of God, then you won't find yourself in a place you're not supposed to be. You won't say, Jesus, take the wheel, take it from my hand. Take me from this road I'm on. Because we drove on that road and we got ourselves where we got ourselves through our thoughts and our actions. We are never, ever misdirected if we can hear the voice and we listen to it. We should never say, Jesus, take the wheel anyway, because you become the body of Christ and you become powerful by hearing the voice of Christ yourself. And so if we do find ourselves in a place where out of ignorance, whatever we did, out of laziness, and we found ourselves out of alignment, everybody needs a friend that is a shield. And I believe that the shield, this makes the kite that I saw in our meditation. So there may be a communication to you, Lizzie, that you are the squaring of emotions, which looks like a shield and a kite, which means that if you find a jerk and they are selfish, ignorant, narcissistic, shaming, blaming, throwing tantrums, not listening to a divine flow and a divine order of God, well, you're not just a shield. They get put into a square. And this square is squaring their emotions and their beliefs until they can finally see and hear. And then the white rabbit appears, and then the dragon appears, and then Alice fights the dragon, and then the white rabbit says, tick-tock, tick-tock. And then suddenly, when Alice is ready to come out of the rabbit hole, she is now illuminated. And she will dance her dance and tell everybody to F off. And that's what the whole name of the game is. Yeah, many of us have to work on our shielding. I'm going to give you an example of what I do every day. And if you guys don't follow me on SoundCloud, I make meditations. These are guided meditations that help you to strengthen your ethereal net, help you to visualize escaping a dark world and putting your mind up here. Here is one of my meditations that I do. Imagine being chased by angry men, jealous women, biting dogs, smoke and guns, and you're running. You go over a hill and they can't see you. Suddenly you see a cave. Here's the cave. It is a cave that people cannot see. Only you can see it. You walk into the cave and there's these lavender colored crystals. The water and the air and the crystals bring clear, fresh air over your body and your skin. There are tall angels that look like water. They are standing next to a spring, clean spring water. They ask you to come forward if you are ready to leave this world behind. You agree. They put a spell on you and ask you to go into the water. And the spell is that you have the ability now to breathe underwater. So you go underwater. Here you are going underwater. While you're underwater, the angels are going to pull out all principalities, powers, thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that are not true. So you imagine laying in this beautiful spring and the water energizes you and talks to you because water holds memory. And you are just fascinated that you can breathe underwater and the angels are so pretty. You're like, wow. And so you're there and you're finally feeling like the best you've ever felt because you are safe from jerk world. While you're there, the angels scream and say bitterness, pain, anger, low self-worth, self-importance, materialism, addiction, suffering, shame, narcissism, sick fixations. And they just say, gone, release. And they throw them out of the cave to this world. And you literally feel it pulling out of your body and leaving you. And when all these things leave your body, it leaves an empty hole that must be filled with something. So you allow the waters to fill that empty hole. All the empty holes that was filled with shame, ignorance, or narcissism. With love, joy, peace. Imagine beautiful stones or flowers growing in those areas. Imagine aromatherapy. Imagine floating and you are so weightless and you don't ever want to come out of the waters. And the angels say, come out, and you say, no. I want to stay in here forever because I'm so happy. I don't want to come out. And they say, it's time. So you obey, because if God says to do something, you do it. You've learned better than to listen to ego, right? So you come out of the waters and you float out. You do not walk. You do not feel heavy. You're floating and you look like one of those water angels now. And you're beautiful. And you're like, what? And you look at yourself in the mirror of the spring and you're like, oh. And you're like, I'm so happy. And the angels warn you not to look at yourself too much and warn you that although you have power now, and although you have been released from a prison, and although you have been baptized by truth and life and joy, that it's your responsibility to keep your power and keep what you look like. Because over time you can turn into a heavy, sad thing. Because you will, if you do not hear God. And so you make a choice and an agreement to really listen for God within you and perhaps even without you. And they show you a secret doorway that leads to a secret kingdom that goes this way. And you go to a world of light, and every person you meet has the glow of God in them. And every person that meets you sees the glow of God within you. And every time you get together, your glows get stronger when you're together. And you feel so much love for everyone. It's like, why do I love you so much? I'd never even met you before. And if you're not careful, you're going to fall in love with everyone. If you're not careful, you're going to follow everyone home like a puppy dog. But you will love everyone, and everyone loves you. There is no one chasing you. There was no one feeding off of you. There is no one manipulating you, hurting you, trying to get you to work for food and water. You are free. And you do this meditation every day. Why? You're training your mind to stop worrying about this world and start seeing a new world and a new self. Seek first the kingdom of God, and all the things that you want will be added unto you. Hallelujah. Yeah. I'm looking at some of your comments here. Hold on. Hallelujah. Yeah. You might like to know that the Armenians believe that America was created by the beings from Armenia. They say that the land America was actually Merkaba. America. It was a Merkaba. Merkaba. And it was created and designed for a specific purpose. What we were told about this place, according to what I've seen in the Armenian, it was Armenia and the god Ar that created a place called Amr. And it is connected to the Merka. Ka is soul. Is your soul. It's the sun. And the Mer, I'm not sure what the Mer is. I think it's energy. And then R is sun. So R, Merka, is sun, energy, soul. Kind of like the new Atlantis. The Armenians call their land Hayastan. Of course, the reason they call their land Hayastan is because the name of the goddess, the god was named Ar, and the goddess was Haya. So she is sun, earth. And her name, so the male part is Ar, the female is Haya. So Hayastan is earth. Now, they changed her name from Haya to Gaia. I don't know why they did that. And then for some reason, they took out the Y and they changed it to I. AI. And I don't believe that was really meant to be AI. It's supposed to be Yah. This is H-A. H-A. This is a place. And Yah is the moon, right? So the earth dominates the moon. Gaia. Yah is moon. So R is sun, earth, moon, right? Ar was sun. He was the god of the sun. Now, Egyptians turned his name around and called him Ra, but that's the opposite. So sun, earth is Ha, and Yah is moon. So sun, earth, moon. But Gaia is kind of, she is the great mother that has an invisible energy. And so although with your physical eyes and with our physical eyes, we see that we live in a dual reality. This dual reality is a mirror world. One is a physical world, one is invisible. So just like God is invisible, the wind is invisible, the feeling of love is invisible, spirit is invisible, the holy dove is invisible, the great mother is invisible. So even though she represents Gaia and the earth, I will say there is a possibility that we will have the ability to bounce to an invisible place when we become illuminated with our invisible light body, our ethereal body, our ethereal net, because the great mother will see us as being illuminated and will bounce us to that invisible place, which is exactly why Lizzie has a mouse on her head from Mount Ararat in Armenia, where she has an invisible face that looks like a planet. And I don't know if you know this, but the Mayans and the Aztecs called the moon the Great Rabbit. So when we follow the white rabbit, you think it's the moon. I'm going to tell you a little secret. There is an invisible moon that we can't see. It's invisible. When Alice followed the white rabbit, nobody saw the white rabbit but her, right? Neo Anderson from The Matrix, follow the white rabbit, Neo. The white rabbit is the invisible mother. The white rabbit is the moon. If you look at the moon actually looks like a rabbit, the face of a rabbit. but it's the dark rabbit. All right, this mother is invisible. So there's a moon that is invisible, and I've seen it in my readings where the moon that we have currently is disintegrating somehow, maybe from our consciousness, because the invisible moon is starting to become visible because we're becoming invisible. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. So anyway, if the male energy, which is the God, is the energy of what is visible, the invisible mother comes into our consciousness to help us through our heart to see what can't be seen with spiritual eyes. And of course, you know, spirit is invisible. So, yep, she is coming. And Haya, yep, she's here. And many of you guys, like Lizzie, are here to show this invisible new place, this moon. It's the invisible rabbit. And people say that our moon is too big or too small. I don't know, too big for whatever. That's because the moon's supposed to be invisible. I don't know. And I believe also that Sirius C, the dog star, the Dogon tribe calls Emma Ya, kind of like Gaia and Freya and Haya. She is the invisible mother, and Sirius C, the dog star, is supposed to be invisible. The Dogon tribe calls it the invisible planet. Behind every physical reality, there's an invisible reality. And you can only see it when you're on the astral realm, or if you're dreaming or you're traveling somehow. With our physical eyes, we cannot see it. When you wish upon a dog star. Something told me that the doghouse, I was watching Breaking Bad, and I noticed that when the main character kept murdering people, toward the end in season 5, there was a symbol of a homeless person in front of a liquor store called Doghouse. And I was told, or I felt very strong feeling, that to be in the doghouse is God spelled backwards, right? If you have been removed from God, you're in the doghouse. So that Sirius C or Sirius B, the dog star, has returned, and all pyramids are always faced toward the Sirius star system, right? Those of us who have been cast away from God, it makes sense that they would be facing toward the dog star. So if we were in the doghouse and kept from God, then we have to go through a flip, and that goes from God, from dog to God, and we flip. So we went from moon to sun, which is Yah-Shua. We went through Yah to get to Shua, which is the ray of the sun. And then once you go into the sun, then suddenly you go through a flip and you begin to see God. And once you see God, you've left the dog or the doghouse. But I noticed the correlations of Breaking Bad, of a series of unfortunate events that occur when we make a choice out of selfishness, and how it affects the collective, and it puts us all in a doghouse, right? And I thought, oh, that was interesting, because if the Walt, I don't know if you guys have watched the show, the main character Walt, if you're an awakened one and you end up having an illness and you were afraid to leave your family behind, you were afraid, this fear would make you do things that would take you out of God and put you in the doghouse. But if we were to hear God, you may bump into someone who would give you a cure outside of conventional medicine. You might bounce to a timeline where things are different for you. You may, through faith, trust, love, joy, and obedience, find yourself in a place where you and your family are protected and loved divinely. Or it may be your time to go. And whatever it is, you just obey. And that when you try to go and do things and cause harm and make drugs and hurt the collective and hide and lie and all this stuff, yep, your spirit will be as empty and as lonely as a homeless person, and you will be in a land called the doghouse. And this doghouse is a place outside of the realm of the grace of God. And it is not fun. And it is our own fault. You've been seeing 2 dogs? Thank you, Lizzie, for this reading. You're doing a great job. And guess what? You're not at 12. You're at 13. You're becoming a master. You should be teaching. You should be the ancient one. You should be having people knock on your door saying, I want to learn to be powerful. And you kick them out on the street saying, no. You don't even know you have an astral body. And Dr. Strange comes knocking on the door again saying, please let me in. I want to learn how to heal my hands. See, you have powerful hands here. And you kick them out and say, no, you don't even have any idea that you have a born again astral self. And Dr. Strange looks at you and says, I don't have an astral self. And you pop them in the head and their astral self pops out and they see their double self for the first time. And you tell them that you don't suffer fools and that if they want to stop living so ignorantly, it takes complete obedience. And if they want to become a healer and they want to become powerful, they have to realize there's more to life than meets the eye. And so Dr. Strange did and became obedient to the Ancient One and became quite powerful, not because of his physical body, but because his physical body was trained to become obedient to his double. Greater is spirit within you than you are in the world. Your double is a time traveler and is immortal. So they know more than we do. Hearing that voice will make us become who we're meant to be. So you should be teaching at this time because you usher souls to safety, but you also kick jerks out. So you are the savior, but you're also the punisher. It's like you're the creator, but you're the destroyer also. And most of us are. I think we do both. All right. So one of you had a question about why are there animals in this world? Why, if we're the jerks, why have animals also to suffer us? That doesn't make any sense, does it? If you were the mother or the father of a prison planet, we look around in our world and we see prisons, all right, everywhere. Do they have a bunch of animals in the prison system? No. Why would you make the animals suffer, right? Why do we have animals? Let's ask. Why have animals in the prison system? All right. Let's see what Spirit has to say. I'm gonna do some sort of angelic, kind of whimsical little twists and turns here. And let's see what Spirit wants to tell us about this, because I don't know, it kind of makes me sad. I dreamed about my cat the other day. I saw my cat Alicia and my cat Cheesy, and I saw that my cat Cheesy lived in a parking lot outside of a church. And my cat Alicia lived in a white house next to a store. And they were feeding her bits of turkey. And my cat Cheesy, who passed away, didn't have any food. And he was living in a parking lot. And I went and rescued him. So, I don't know. All right, so here's what Spirit says. So it says the word map. So we should be looking at this like a map first and foremost. So let's go ahead and just see what Spirit is saying to us about these particular animals. And I have no clue what is going to be said. But we are seeing a tree branch. We were once part animal, and our animal was cut from us like the golden compass. See the knife as the hand and the animals. We were all, I don't know, something happening here where we have to live with pieces of ourselves, and so they are pieces of us. We were like, there are millions of pieces of ourselves everywhere, including that we were a unicorn. We did seem to live forever, and but we don't live forever anymore because our spirit was cut from us, and spirit is animal. So the holy dove, an animal, and the wolf, an animal. So the golden compass is probably more true than we realize, that as children we were sent to these places and our animal was cut from us, and it cut our mouths from being able to speak, and so they are us, a piece of us. And then there's this fish like this, and inside the fish there's this alien. Fish, flesh. Think of the fish, think of flesh. Something about that. So then there's this strange looking God with a big nose and a mouth that goes like this, and a very long neck. And there's some kind of device going around the head, like the temple area, like that. And there's one on the other side also, and a snake coming out of the head. There's a snake coming out of the forehead. But there's some kind of device on both sides of the temple that keep us. Oh, and then the unicorn is pointing into the temple. Something did something to us where We had the ability to go inside anybody, anything, and it was different. It was a different world. And here's a giant spider. And there's some kind of mind control. And so what they did, or what something did to us, was cut our animal from our soul, which cut us from eternal life, cut us from our ability to hear God, cut us from each other, cut us so that we become very weak and susceptible and blind. So the reason animals are here is because that they are part of us. They can't escape either because we haven't been able to escape. And then on the throat is this prison. It looks like a tower. Goes up, 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 and then down, down, down. Up, 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 down, 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 down. Very long tower. It's like a prison of the mind, really. Prison, 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 prison. And then we pledge allegiance to this prison. And we shouldn't. And we get addicted to silly things. There's a strawberry shortcake. We get addicted to fantasy. And cartoons. We get addicted to the cartoon. And we get eaten time and again, it looks like. Yeah, there's a little doe, a deer, a female deer. There's a lot of manipulation going on. I don't like it. There's some strange character. It looks like some kind of weird alien with this helmet on like this. Driving. The minds are doing something. Sitting in like a car like this. Doing something. There are things in the unseen world operating something inside our heads, like a SIM card. Keeping glasses over our face and a helmet over our head so we don't see. And it says, Aeon. So the unicorn symbol was changed to a snake coming out of the third eye. Why did they change the unicorn coming out of the third eye into a snake? I don't know. Why did the spider take over the unicorn? Why did the unicorn horn go into this simulation thing that controls the mind, putting us in a prison? The animal being cut from us. So your animal is, I don't know, like an animal that's forever with you, connected to you. Maybe this is why so many of us have so many different personalities, because of your spirit animal. Your spirit animal has a personality and it's connected to you. These animals cannot escape, and neither can you. We are all connected, according to this reading. But it looks like a djinn down here. When I see this fire-looking thing, it's a djinn. Now, if you get into the djinn, you're going to get into the genie and the genes and the Gentile and all that. And seems to be it was a djinn that messed up things for us. I mean, do we really want to believe that God isn't in control and that this djinn was able to do this to us? I don't know. All I know is all these little Pinocchios are walking around with their long noses, believing lies. I want to be a real boy. You can't. You believe a lie. You were turned into a pretend boy. Almost like, I don't know, like there's a SIM card. Yeah, we can screenshot it. There's probably more here than can meet the eye as well. Let me pull it right up about here. Yeah, they called the animals demons. Now, does that make sense why Lizzie's piece, it says demon? And in Lizzie's piece, where Dagon the fish god, the boy is riding the horse. Now does it make sense why the boy is riding the horse? Because we were once connected to our animal. And then once we go into this place, our animal, there's the wolf, was cut. The demon was cut. There's the little dog right there. So our demon, our animal was cut from us. Where did the animal go? And when I was dreaming about my cat, Cheesy, I ran up to him and hugged him. I said, I miss you. I don't know where you are, And it's so sad. It's hard not to be angry about it. For me, I've taken the responsibility that I could have been a jerk, But at the same time, to me, it's also very sad. I don't like that our animal was cut from us. But Lizzie's little animal was a mouse. I guess this is why Harry Potter, everybody has an animal. Ron Weasley had a mouse. Hermione had a cat. Harry Potter had an owl. Everybody had an animal. And the animal went with them just about everywhere they went. Just like the movie The Golden Compass. They portrayed beings who had their animal cut from them as being very weak and dead. It literally turned you into a Pinocchio. Like dead. And how sad. So we were cut from our animal. See how his head is cut off? We were cut. There's an elephant. I love that movie too. I want to watch it again. My daughter and I, when we have our girl time, we love watching silly movies like Tangled and Bolt, like the old movie Bolt with the dog. And I think I'd like to watch The Golden Compass tonight because Lyra is a star system called Lyra. It's the Lyra star system. And she is an oracle. An oracle is someone who can see the unseen. So the oracle went on a journey with a polar bear. This is the white rabbit energy, the white unicorn energy, to take down these jerks who took children and ate and cut them, did things to them. So many of us are called to fight these energies ourselves. And many of you are probably called to do this not only in the physical but the astral realm, to fight these energies which leaves us and renders us like little children. I mean, I don't like the idea of taking the blame because I think that we don't know any better. We still don't know any better. We're raised in a system where we're really not told the truth, where the truth is hidden from us. I always wondered, why was Jesus baptized? If he was the Son of God, why would he have to get baptized? And why, when he was baptized, did a holy dove descend upon him like it was his spirit animal? Is that an allegory that when we go underwater, where the knife that cut us from our animal was some sort of energy, and that when we do some kind of ritual, like go underwater and something, when the holy dove descends upon our head, right, our animal comes back to us, So when we are all born in this world, we're born without our animal connected to us, but then through some sort of baptism, that holy dove, and the holy dove being connected to the ark, and the ark being connected to animals, and how the animals had to be loaded 2 by 2, and all these connections to the ark, your animal, and this baptism. So if your animal is invisible, say, then I don't know, because I know that the unicorn is invisible, and here's the invisible unicorn, that's the invisible white wolf, but then these owls are visible. There's some secrets here I'm not really sure about. Yeah, if you have the golden compass on your head, and just to give you an example, this looks like a golden compass also. All of you guys here today, all of you, every single one of you, are walking like Atreyu to the 2 oracles. We just did a reading about this. All of you guys are stepping into becoming an oracle. The oracle can hear the voice of God and speak the voice of God. And you become holy, right? Where is it? Here it is. This is the reading I did, was a collective reading. So, we come from our prison planet here. Through a birthing, we walk this path like Atreyu. We go to the 2 oracles. If you can say with pure confidence and with the heart of a child, I am nothing and yet everything, I obey the will of God, then you become like an oracle. And if you are an oracle, then the oracles can't see you because you are just like them. You can't see other people who are just like you. So, you can easily walk past the 2 oracles when you are called to become an oracle. From there, you go into the fire. This is where the dragon is. It's a cave. Many people, while they're in the cave, have to fight parts of themselves that aren't true. It's the fire of cleaning themselves. Once you come out of the fire of cleaning yourself, then you can move this way where you learn to become the eyes of other people, but you become half flesh, half animal. Your animal gets connected to you again, and you begin to have powers. And every energy that you enter, here this person looks half person, half animal. So all of us, all of you guys watching today, and every single person who's ever gotten a reading from me, Spirit told me, if you get a reading from me and I don't refund you, and believe me, I've refunded many people, not because they're jerks, but because they're not ready yet. When you are ready to get a reading from me, then you are being called to hear and listen to a still and small voice within your heart and obey it. If you become obedient to that still and small voice through your actions, thoughts, and words, you become the oracle. The oracle goes through the eye of the needle and is given truth and is given their power and their animal back. The baptism is the holy dove that descends and is an allegory of finding your home, finding your perfect timeline, and connecting you with the Holy Spirit, which isn't just a white dove, by the way. Your Holy Spirit could be a unicorn, a bear, an elephant, an elf, an owl, a spider, maybe a snake. All of us have a higher self that would descend upon us through baptism. Now, I've been baptized in spring water. I didn't even think about how the Holy Dove descends. It's really an energy that is invisible that goes inside you. It's the energy of God going inside you. But I just wonder, can we put ourselves underwater and call back our animal? Have we even tried? Should we? I'm going to try. Many of you guys, I've done your pieces and I see that your animal is a shapeshifter. Some of your animals change from a bird to a dragon to many other animals because we're going through different stages. So if the Holy Dove descends upon you through baptism, your animal can shapeshift. And oh my gosh, I'm going to watch that movie tonight. I'm going to convince my daughter to watch that with me tonight. And I'm going to look at all the allegories and go, ha, 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 ha. And you know, it was Nicole Kidman who was the jerk. And when Lyra said, "Why? You don't have to obey rules, Lyra. You are royal." And she said, "But they have to obey rules." And she said, "Well, you don't obey rules." She was like, "Yes, but I know better than others." And then Lyra started to see that this narcissistic elite group of people were taking young, innocent children and cutting their animal off of them, rendering them powerless, calling it dust. And that's what I'm seeing in this piece. Oh, wow. Yeah, I there has to be a correlation between the suffering of animals and the suffering of humans. There has to be. However, there is no such thing as death. Like, for instance, if you live in the country, you learn to kind of be calloused toward the death of animals. Why? We have like 20 chickens. And we have possums that come and kill our chickens, eating them alive. Nature is predatorial. Okay? Let me give you guys a little lesson so you're not polarized by save the trees, save the animals. Okay? Because if you're like that and you're like, don't harm anything, then you're a little out of balance. Let me help us all understand. We live on a realm that is called nature. Let's call it nature. And this place is like a clock. And for those who know how to get into 0 point energy, you will not be pushed around by the hands of time, constantly going around and pushing you, right? This clock will clean itself. If on this clock there are energies that need to be cleaned or out of balance, nature will make a tornado, tsunami, earthquake, a volcano eruption, and kill millions. Mount St. Helens emitted more carbon into the air than all of our cars put together in just a few days. Earth is more destructive and nature is more destructive than we are. Animals are predatorial. Our possum will go and kill our chickens while they are alive. Our wolves, we have wolves out here, will eat our cats. And so we live on a predatorial realm. Nature is ruthless. Animals are ruthless. Humans are ruthless. There is a time to kill and a time not to kill. Everything balances itself. So, for instance, if you are led to be a vegetarian and you notice that your body is becoming quite powerful and you feel more balanced, but then one day your higher self had you go fishing in a divine time, and the flesh of the fish was in some way healing for you, that you needed it, the oil of the fish, that for some reason was just in complete divine timing. The first thing you would tell yourself is, I obey divine timing. I obey this. The second thing you do is you say, thank you to the fish, because first of all, we all die. We eat plants that are alive. Plants are alive too. You pull a carrot out of the ground, it is alive. I mean, things that fall from the tree are probably, that probably doesn't hurt them as much as pulling lettuce out of the roots and eating them. But everything is alive, and we all die, but we don't die. We all go to parallel worlds. But just to be clear, whether you are led by your ego or your own understanding to only eat a certain diet, it should come from a divine order of God, not from your head, not because someone told you to, not because you think that we should all live in harmony and be kind to each other. Well, unfortunately, nature will kill and destroy. Animals are predatorial. They kill each other all the time. A little spider could kill a human. A rattlesnake could kill a human. There are things out there that can, like people who are allergic to bees, people can die from a bumblebee. So death and life is under the will of God. So you should be aware that if you are led to eat meat, it should be divinely meant to be for you. and you should bless it or be thankful and know that it's there to somehow heal you. But if you are led not to do it, then don't. Just realize that there is no death for any one of us. We just bounce to parallel worlds, including animals. I've seen all of my animals on the spirit realm, and they go to a place. They bounce their consciousness just like we do. Plants do too. They go to a different timeline. If you pass, your consciousness goes into a different timeline. Whatever kind of consciousness you have, whether you're a plant, animal, or person, you bounce to a different timeline, different hands on the clock going round. So although nature seems really ruthless, there is this knowing that we don't die, according to some things that I've seen. I don't know. But, like my chickens, for instance, some people don't even eat eggs. Our chickens do not sit on our eggs. They will go rotten, and then the snakes will come and eat them. We have thousands of eggs that we have every day. We have so many eggs. And our chickens will not lay on them and hatch chicks. They just go rotten. So you may as well eat them. This is what God told me to do. That we don't eat our chickens, we eat our eggs. But if the chickens were to lay on the eggs and want to hatch little baby chicks, we let them do that. That's in divine timing. But we don't want the eggs to just go rotten. That's a waste of food. So if my higher self says don't eat eggs, I don't eat eggs. But it's all under your higher self will tell you what diet is good for you. Some people, they need certain food. Like some people can eat nuts, like peanuts, and it's very healthy for them. For me, no. You can eat flower petals and fresh dandelions. If I eat a fresh dandelion or a rose petal, I break out in hives. I mean, natural food that comes from the earth, I get sick from that stuff. My main diet is almonds. I eat almonds every day. And I eat dark chocolate with hardly any sugar in it. I eat a lot of olive oil and Himalayan sea salt. I eat salads. Sometimes I eat salmon. And sometimes, not very, very often, I eat eggs. But Spirit says for me to eat mostly almonds. And I eat a lot of honey. And I try to stay away from sugar and carbs and stuff like that. But that's what Spirit tells me to eat. And I really don't like eating chicken or beef or any of that. It's too dense. It's kind of gross. Even though my husband cooks with that food and I really don't like to eat it. But I just understand that we want to be very, very kind, right? But we are in a world that is ruthless. Nature is ruthless. Animals are ruthless. Bugs are ruthless. Plants are ruthless. We are in a ruthless world of life and death. And all we have to do as advanced beings, if we want to call ourselves advanced, is to hear that invisible spirit tell us, what should we eat? And if your spirit says, you know what, you need to eat this today, and it's something that your brain tells you you shouldn't do, you shouldn't argue, because your higher self is a time traveler and knows way more than you. And that's the way I handle it. I was told don't ever eat fast food. I was told don't drink coffee. I was told all kinds of stuff. Don't ever eat fast food. It has nanotechnology in it. I was told so much about food. But I live on a farm and I know animals. And I know how things live and die out here. And so I know nature. I haven't ever tried Manuka honey. I've I love Tupelo honey. I love people who infuse like lemon or lavender inside the honey. You can take honey and put cloves in it, and cloves will help you to get rid of parasites in your body. And parasites are something that you should clear yourself of every year. And so what I do is I make tea, and I make my tea with honey, and I put cloves and cayenne pepper in my tea. And the cloves and the cayenne pepper are an anti-parasitic, so that I am cleaning my body every day. I also sprinkle a little activated bamboo charcoal, little teeny weeny sprinkle of it. I bet you can see it in there. See the little darkness right there in the little corner? Activated bamboo charcoal absorbs toxins out of your intestines and clears heavy metals out of your body. So I really make my tea a medicine. I put cayenne pepper, honey, clove, and sometimes I do cinnamon, sometimes I do anise star. It's an antiviral. It just depends. Sometimes Spirit says, oh, you need to put some bloodroot in there to get rid of cancer cells, and I do. Just, just get into it. If you guys are getting into self-sustaining, I really encourage you guys to grow your own food, talk to your food, thank your food, and give back. My chickens, we have so many eggs. We're giving away so many eggs. So we have so many eggs. My chickens, I thank them, and they get their feelings hurt if I don't take their eggs every day. And I even made a little hobbit house in the backyard. It has a little door, and it's a little hobbit hut, and they lay their eggs in the little hobbit house. And the hobbit house is inside a hill, inside the door. I'm going to make 2 other little houses on the side just to make it really cute. And I love hunting for eggs every day. I get green ones, green eggs and ham. I get green ones. Oh, and I don't ever eat pork. My husband does. I don't. I don't know what it is, but Spirit says no. So anyway, no pork for me. My daughter does. My daughter eats bacon, and I wish she wouldn't. Anyway, no pork for me. But we have these white eggs, we have these brown eggs, we have these green eggs, we have all these different chickens that lay eggs. And I have these raccoons and possums who are very hungry. So we leave leftover food outside and some eggs even for those creatures who want to eat. But when they go in and try to kill our chickens, they get in trouble. They're not allowed to go and just kill our chickens like that, because we feed everybody around here. I feed the birds, I feed the raccoons, I feed the possums, I feed everything that wants to be fed. I feed the squirrels. I give back to nature. What we take from nature, we give back. We grow trees here, we take care of our plants, and this is giving back to the world and to nature. And they love you for it. They become your allies. They become your spiritual allies. But there are rules. And the rules are, I feed you. And if you try to destroy and kill one of my chickens, we will hurt you. You're not allowed to come and kill our chickens, So look, there's a time to heal. There's a time to give. And there's a time to receive. There's a time to be ruthless is also. You are just like nature. If it's time to have a volcano eruption or a tsunami or a tornado, and it's time to clean up, clean up. And if it's time to give, then give. Yeah, I don't know what it is about pork. I think because it's more like human flesh than any other animal. And It also can give you a brain disease if it's not cooked appropriately. Also, it has parasites. I mean, as anything does. But I just limit the amount of meat. And it just shouldn't be our daily diet. It should just be, in divine timing. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you so much, Yaya. I'm so glad that you're here, darling. Yeah, and herbs, yes. One thing I have on my property that is so significant is the yopon tree. It's a natural tea. It comes from the holly tree. And you can cook it in the oven and turn it into a green tea or a black tea. And it tastes like a buttery, like a nut flavor, like a buttery nut flavor. And I'm going to have it for sale in my store. I'm going to make a bunch and have it for sale on my website, or give it away, whatever. But eventually I want to open up a retreat here or a place. I have my Forest Fairy shop, and I want you guys to come and make things and learn how to make things to self-sustain, whether it's growing chickens or harvesting certain things. Did you know that you could dry oak leaves and turn them into paper? And so there's so many things that we can do with nature, especially if you have any land at all. Chickens are wonderful. They leave feathers everywhere. You can take those feathers and make something really fun. I always make cat toys. You can take a stick, put a string on it, tie the feather to the end of the string, cat toy. Yeah. I just started taking care of my body for years and years, and I didn't drink water and eat nutrition. When I was young, and then even as a teenager, I didn't know anything about water. It was always sweet tea or soda, sweet tea or soda. And when your hormones come in and you're a young girl and you're not hydrated, you are a mess. And I was such a mess. On top of all the problems, on top of all the drama, on top of all the poisonous foods, and on top of everything else, it was like a bunch of rocks on top of your chest, and you couldn't breathe. You were barely alive, right? I hated my life. If I would have known to drink water and to appropriately fill my holy temple up with life energy, I would have been happier. But now here we are, those of us who have learned, we're ready to teach our kids. I've always taught my children about the power of reishi mushroom. We have chanterelle mushrooms growing out here everywhere. We have tons of chanterelle mushrooms. I teach them about water. Water hydration, number 1. Your pH, number 2. Number 3, what do you eat? And unfortunately, my daughter just loves coffee and loves pork. She will not stop. But they're not going to do everything we say, and I'm not going to force her. She can do what she wants. She's independent. She can make her own decisions. She can make her own mistakes. My job is to be my best self, and if she ends up feeling not so well, maybe she'll end up doing what I do, but maybe she's not meant to. I don't know. I'm not the hovering mother. She can have her freedom to do what she wants. Oh, yes, an herb garden. I have roses, lavender, not lavender, cilantro, thyme, oregano, aloe plants, aloe gel, basil, sage, parsley, and I grow some bloodroot, and we have wild blueberry out here, and Yaupon trees everywhere. We have wild mulberries, raspberries. We have wild, what are they called? They're like grapes. They're like, we just have a bunch of wild, we have a lot of wild fruit out here as well in Northwest Florida. But the ground is very acidic. But I will say this, there's mushrooms everywhere. And when I say every kind of mushroom, I mean every kind of mushroom. And we dry them, and we have bagfuls of mushrooms here. Chanterelle, reishi, psychedelic mushrooms, all of it. So I'm trying to get really good at harvesting, drying, and doing all that, and just having jars of it and having it ready. If I want to open a store, yeah. If I want to give it away, yeah. If I want to share it, trade it, barter it, yep. If I want to have it just to have it for later, yep. Whatever. Paradise in fairyland. Because, our cows are what create these psychedelic mushrooms. We have peach and deets. And we have lots of chickens. And so maybe one day, I've made videos showing you guys fairyland. I used to have a life-size Candyland game, but a tornado came and blew everything to smithereens, basically. So I took my life-size Candyland game down. Wah, wah, wah. You'd buy it all. Oh, yeah. See, here in Fairyland, I make cabinets. These are called apothecary cabinets. The apothecary cabinets hold prayers. I think this light needs batteries. I don't think he turns on anymore. Yeah, he doesn't. This is a cabinet that I made, and I turned into cards. And so each cabinet glows in the dark, and you open it up, they hang on the wall, and they all carry light inside. This means that you are illuminated from the inside out. The light on the outside means that you glow in the dark. You have become illuminated. If you open the door, it is a prayer to allow truth or friendship or love inside you. If you close the door and you leave the light on, it means that you are illuminating a prayer if you put a prayer inside. I put natural products in there like aromatherapy, perfumes, Matchbox fairies, all kinds of amazing things in there. So the entire store is filled with these apothecary cabinets that hang on the wall. And sometimes the cabinets come with wands and glow-in-the-dark wands and some really fun things that I love to make. So, like, this was a cabinet that I sold in Pensacola at a festival. I miss her. I wish I didn't sell her. But she was a mirror. See how she was the eye of the needle. See, I didn't even know what all these symbols meant when I created her, but she is the eye of the needle. She is a shield. She is about boundaries. She is about your twin flame and the mirror and all this. And I loved her so much. But these are cards that I made out of my art. And so you can see the store is filled with high vibe products to activate yourself. It actually goes this way. To activate yourself. See, this is the Age of Aquarius. This is loss. This is release. This is forgiveness. This is anxiety. This is to step forward. This is to mother yourself. friendship. So I made all these cards and put them in there. I'll have to take you guys to Forest Fairy one day, and you guys can see what everything I make by hand. I make everything by hand. Why? Because I can. And I'm such a creative person that I can't stand it if I'm just sitting around. So I'm always making something or inventing something. And so that was an invention. And you close it and it snaps like a snap with a magnet. And he glows. And I sell these and I give them away sometimes. And I have friends I give them away to. And sometimes I sell them. I really don't like the idea of selling anything because it's like, hey, I have this paper money that isn't real. Give me something that you made with your energy. You know, I know it's an energetic exchange, supposedly, right? But I don't know. I hope there's a better system in the future where it's like, I don't know, something different. Maybe we'll invent it. Maybe we'll make it happen, right? We have to. Because otherwise this world is boring. And I don't want to be bored anymore. So, we have a reading tomorrow with Amanda. And I did a free reading, I guess, for all of us about the animal. Is there anybody who's like in a dire emergency to know what Spirit has to say? Just to let you know, my subscribers, if you subscribe, there's things that you're going to get from me that other people don't get. If you are a subscriber, you get to first pick for a free reading. Secondly, if you purchase a reading from me, the reading is $30, not $50. Thirdly, we have giveaways. We're also going to have private classes. You guys be aware that John and I are going to have a class this Saturday at 12 o'clock p.m. Central about actually beginning to use your physical body to create things in your world to help you move toward, like a game, toward Candyland, toward the castle. Get closer to your castle. Get away from the world of the moon. Get away from the world of darkness and closer to your light where you step into your power. There will be a day, though, when this will be a private-only, subscriber-only thing, because some of these concepts we don't want everyone to know. And not everyone should know some of these concepts because, like I said, we live in a predatory universe. So, just FYI. So if you want to participate in the coming class, you just have to show up. It's at 12 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. John is coming on at 12. Yeah. I totally beg your pardon. I'm going to have a class on you guys becoming an oracle and doing what I do at 11 o'clock Central. And I'm so sorry for you guys who are in California. That is 9 o'clock your time. At 11 o'clock, I'm going to give you a class. At 12 o'clock, John's going to come on for another class. And then that class will last however long, but then I have a reading at 2. So we'll be online for a long time Saturday. So if you're Eastern time, then it'll be 12 o'clock for the class on being an oracle, 1 o'clock with John and me talking. And all of you guys, if you guys want to come, when I'm doing a class and you want to go live with me, showing your art, whatever, talking, you don't have to show your face, come on. Let's have a group discussion. I'm totally fine with that. And then, but at 2 o'clock, nobody comes on. It's just me and the person I'm reading for. Oh, thank you so much. I love you guys. Pack a lunch, right? All day school. It's like all day school. Oh, you came from a land known as Fairy and Dragon. Alex. So if you want a reading, just tell me your first name. Oh, it says much needed. So Stacy. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Stacy, tell me why that you're needing a reading right now. Let me get your vibe. What's going on? What's happening in your land, in the land of your garden? Are your sunflowers sad? Like, what's going on? Okay, you're here, and you're lucky 41. And aren't you lucky? So just give me a little glimpse into your world. What are you looking to see in your reading today? Since we can't talk on the phone, I need some vibe from you. You're just feeling very stuck. All right, let's do a connection here. All right, so you and I are on those trapeze that you swing, and have you ever been to the circus where the male is holding on to the female, and they're holding onto their hands, and they're on a trapeze, and she spins and holds on to the other bar, and then does all these flips, and he catches her, and she catches him, and it's amazing, right? So I am on a trapeze with you, and I'm holding on to you, and we're swinging back and forth, and you're afraid to fall in the net. And I look at you in your eyes, and I'm like, oh, my dear, are you doubting yourself again? And I say, what are you so afraid of falling for? You have the net right there. It'll be fun to fall in the net. And you say, I don't like to make mistakes. And I say, let's make a mistake together. So I pull you off the trapeze, and I put my arms around you, and we fall into the net together. And we bounce and bounce and bounce. And oh my goodness, it didn't hurt. And oh my goodness, it was fun. And so what? We have to climb up the ladder and try again. It's okay. That's the name of the game, is trying again. And so we go back up again, and I say, you know what we should do with these trapeze swings and these bars? Let's decorate them with pretty flowers on the sides and ribbons that flow. And let's put some lights up here and make it a little brighter. And we're like, yeah. So we decorate the trapeze with lights and ribbons and flowers, and we make it smell really good. And we bring a life to this place and make it sparkle with lights that go everywhere. And suddenly you just get this energy and this confidence to do some amazing flips without anyone's help. And everyone in the audience cheers and is so amazed at your talent. So you're having confidence issues. Let's see what Spirit has to say to you. If I hear a song, maybe one word or maybe one lyric is for you. The long and winding road takes you back to your home. Don't leave me standing here. Lead me to your door. Ooh. You left me standing here a long, long time ago. Don't leave me standing here. Lead me to your door. I don't know why you're throwing up. But you do have somebody coming forward. Whenever energies come forward for you and around you, it's usually a communication of people who are helping you on the astral realm. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are dead. So you do have an energy that is there and with you currently. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Your mind currently looks like it's a little at the tornado of your mind. It has a Wizard of Oz. I'm the great and mighty Wizard of Oz. Fear me. Step forward, Tin Man. Okay. The Wizard of Oz is a connection that something in your mind is connected to the World Wide Web, possibly. But let's look and see what's going on. So, okay, Stacy, according to your reading, your ethereal net is so kind of entwined into other people's bands of energy that you're losing kind of yourself, like your power. Because I do see like energies feeding off of you. And this just doesn't mean that someone is literally feeding off of you. It means that someone's tapping into your energy and they can't produce their own power. And so they cause drama, cause you to doubt yourself, cause you to lose your power. And you have to collect that power back by cutting people out of your life. Because, all right, so here you are, you're holding something here. And this is your foot, your leg. And there's somebody like feeding off of you, right? You have to be ruthless with this. Ascension is a very confusing time. And don't take this as the worst scenario, because this is all a testing ground and a practicing ground, like the trapeze, to teach you to perfect your mind, right? So here you're holding like a tornado. You know, your chakras looks like a vortex or a tornado. So your energy, your power is connected to other people's bands of energy, and it's you're losing power. So, we have to get your power back. The Great and Mighty Wizard of Oz is the false god. It is the World Wide Web. And you have this, see, it looks like a tornado where your chakras are flowing up out like a tornado. And here is the Great and Mighty Wizard of Oz at the top and looking like a hot air balloon. The Great and Mighty Wizard of Oz was full of hot air balloon. And then here you have the stag. This is spirit. This is the body of Christ. This is really you being like a sacrifice. And sacrificing your time, sacrificing your energy, sacrificing your power. You shouldn't do that. And that's okay. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, and I'm going to tell you how to get these energies from feeding off of you. We don't feel sorry for the selfish blind. We don't feel sorry for those who cannot create their own power. We don't feel sorry for people who cause drama, who follow death, who sees the worst in people. They don't know how to be illuminated from the inside out. So this is another place where you're losing power here. And you have your knee like this and your foot goes like that. All right. And so it's like your inner thigh, your inner area there. Let's see what we can do for you, baby. Let's try to, there's this man here. He has his hands over his eyes, covering his eyes like, we don't think that people know what they're doing. So let's take what's bad and turn it into good. That is our power. Let's take our thoughts and take our power back. All right? So, how are we going to take our power back? Let's let spirit change all of this into good. And that is the power between you and spirit. So, spirit is taking this energy that is feeding off of you and taking and biting this person with a holy dove. All right? The holy dove is attacking a jerk. Also, the Taurus field where there's someone getting into your energy, they are being eaten by what looks like a raven. See, your birds are your allies. Your horse is coming to the rescue. This is your power. All right, what else? See, you have this hat man. Well, what are we going to do about that spirit? Spirit is putting this giant hand like this, grabbing it like a claw. All right? What are we going to do about all this tornado? And actually, Stacy needs to be standing up. She needs to take her power back. So, you have a dragon. Can't see it. It's just there. All right. Your dragon's going to come and save you. But you have work to do. And you need to do this something every day. Right now, Spirit is changing everything so that these things aren't bothering you anymore. It's just deception. It's lies. It's false people, maybe false ideals, religions, dogmas. These are black-eyed energies of like the Medusa. People who have been hurt and they will not heal from it. They will not stop shaming and blaming and really bringing in bad energy. I do see like a church or some kind of place here. So you need to sing and speak your truth. We're going to change your mouth to singing, and I want you to be happy. And here's what we're going to do. Your ethereal net is getting connected to other people. It's not your fault, except you have to know what to do every day to fix your power, all right? You're going to be giving to people your thoughts, your time, your energy, right? And if you don't take that power back and collect your power and cut people's energy off of you through comedy, through laughing at yourself and others, through forgiveness or whatever, your ethereal net will get connected to many different people, even just a stranger at Walmart. You could literally have your ethereal net connected to a person at Walmart, a cashier, and you didn't know that you somehow were connected to that energy, and that energy on some unseen place connected to you and began to feed off of you, distorting your energy, distorting your power. And if you have no power, nothing will work in your favor. So you have to collect power every day in order for your life to work in your favor. Your spirit is, let me show you, let's see, hold on a second. The unseen world is an ethereal net that looks like an egg, and it is a luminosity that looks like a net also. And it surrounds your physical body. This web of energy gets torn to shreds during daily living. Huge portions of it become lost or entwined in other people's bands of energy. If a person loses too much vital force, you can become ill or die, or really nothing just begins working for you. You'll become sad, disconnected, self-sabotaging, self-hating, hating the world, bitter, all of those things. When you do breathing exercises, when you sun gaze with your eyes closed, when you forgive, when you allow your inner child to come out and play and have a voice and feel magical and creative, your inner child has all the power and is connected to your double self, your invisible self. When your inner child feels safe and isn't afraid, your inner child is the power. So think of the movie Labyrinth, where the female was looking for the baby. Once you find the baby, you're out of the labyrinth. The labyrinth is a place that is connected to everyone else's energy but your own. So your own energy is your inner child. When you breathe and do inhalations and exhalations and forgiveness techniques, you are working not only on the physical level, but the ethereal level. And it will repair damage to your ethereal net. And you can ruthlessly cut people off of you. It is not okay to indulge in other people's thoughts or feelings. And it is not okay for people to indulge in yours. Not everyone gets to know how you feel or think. And not everyone should have access to you. Because you are a holy vessel. You are a vessel that should be used for the will of God, not for people who don't know how to be filled with life energy. There are people, especially religious people, who hide behind religion, who are the worst. And they abuse children and animals, and they feed off of the innocent and the weak through seeing the worst in you. They're often hypocritical, they're judgmental, and there are even parents who don't want to lose you, and they want you to feel like a bad person so that you don't leave them. And so they might make or convince you that you are worthless, powerless, dumb, ignorant, whatever, and want to keep you from being powerful. You know, as a mother, or as a friend, or as any kind of social being, it is our responsibility to help people become strong, even if that means that they are no longer with us. That is the job of all of us, is to not have each other feeding off of each other, but to create an environment where everyone is powerful and no one is feeding off of anyone. Unfortunately, we live in a world where people are very ignorant and they don't know that our thoughts are what contacts each other, and we can become parasitic to each other through pain, suffering, ignorance, low self-worth, self-importance, jealousy, all these things. And so I don't know what happened to you, but somehow have found yourself sitting down. And it's time for you to stand up. And you should do this by collecting power every day. And if you are around someone in your life that is not seeing the best in you and doesn't lift you up, you should leave them. And if you can't leave them physically, then leave them mentally. Any tree that bears no fruit should be cut down and thrown into the fire and burned out of your memory forever. It is not okay for people to pull you into their world, which is a world of the dead. That is not you. You should not, your dog, which is your mind, if it finds itself in the garden of the wicked witch, you will train your dog to not be feral and train your dog to expose the truth, so that your Toto exposes the great and mighty Wizard of Oz, who was false, who was a liar, full of hot air balloon, right? And your dog, your mind, will begin to seek first the kingdom of God and become pure and not allow anyone to pull you down, because that is, in spiritual language, kind of a murdering way of dealing with people. People don't even know what they do. There are people who you come into contact with that seem like the nicest people in the world, but they actually attach themselves to you on the spiritual realm. And you will know by how you feel when you leave their presence. And if you have collected enough personal power, you will see them on the spirit realm. And if you see who they truly are, and you know that they are a vampire and they feed off of you, then you will cut them out of your memory by training yourself not to think about them ever again. Now, let's see what you look like at your highest self. Your highest. You are no longer under the power of anybody but your highest timeline. What are you here to do? And you are ruthless. You aren't going to stand for lies, jerks. If people cannot illuminate themselves and dance their own dance and flip their own flips and be their best self, and listen to God, that's not your fault. You need to drink water. That's one thing. So here you are as like a queen. You're smiling, all right? You're drinking water. You had a water in front of you. You have this diamond over your body. And you are incredibly living in joy, all right? Christians say the joy of the Lord is your strength, all right? Well, Harry Potter people say the ridiculous spell. So the ridiculous spell is really just allowing joy to rule your energy. And so here you are, full of joy. You're in the threefold flame. All right. And I'm hoping after this reading that you literally will not have to endure those energies anymore. You've been set free. And now it is your job and your responsibility to use your mind appropriately. I'm doing the worst hand here. This is your energy. It makes a musical note that's like a treble clef. And this is about sound and frequency. And you have your gown like this and your foot like this. This is the sole of your foot. And your other knee up here like this. And you're seated on a throne. And you have wings, like angel wings. And you're like that. And you have your other hand like this. You're holding an orb, so you're an oracle. And you're keeping your throne clear. So if anybody comes into your kingdom and they look at you and they want to feed off of you and they want to connect to you and they have not become illuminated within themselves, you can say, off with your head. Become ruthless. Cut people out of your lives if they are negative. All right? Do not let these people who have snakes on their head and want to bite you. This is a snake coiled up around their head. They're waiting to feed off of you. All right? If they come into your kingdom and they come near your throne and your energy and they try to come and steal your power, well, I'm sorry. Off with your head. Let's cut their heads off. I'm sorry. You can go and go feed off somebody else, but you aren't allowed here. You can go and become illuminated from the inside out and learn to hear the voice of God and obey the voice of God, or you can leave here forever and I never want to see you again. All right? And I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. These snakes, and there's people around us that they are very rude. I'm so sorry. So here you are, and you have a beautiful gown on. This one foot is here, like kicking. Oh, actually, you're smushing a snake. And there's these jerks. They're just, yeah, nope, sorry. All right, so anyway, now you have these people on this side that are for you. And these are people who listen to God. These are people who know how to fill up their own energy. They don't need you. And you don't need them. And the only reason that you are friends is because God brought them to you. So it's not about what you give them or about anything else except they were in your life in divine timing, period. That's the only reason they're there, not because of anything else. So you have people that will come into your life who are very kind, and they're like soldiers, and they are your allies. These are allies who are like messengers and spirit guides that God brings you, who will fill you up and lift you up and turn you into your best self so that you all abide in a wonderful kingdom together, protecting each other. Not because of anything else except that this is what God brought you. That's it. So you don't have to be anybody. You don't have to call them every day. You don't have to give them gifts. You don't have to. All you have to do is live in joy and obey God and the people who also listen to God will be brought to you through frequency, and they will become your ally, and they will help you, and all of that on this side. On this side, off with your head. So, if you think about it, Jesus said, if you don't hate your brother, your mother, your sister, even your own life, you cannot come to the eye of the needle. And so, if they cannot produce their own power by becoming an energy that is filled with God, and they are dominated by a reptilian, I'm sorry, they're not allowed in your kingdom or your energy. They're not even allowed to know how you feel or what you think, and even if this is someone in your family. And I'm sorry that is a ruthless thing. So you have a piece of paper that has a diamond here on the front of you, and it says, saved. You know, those who are religious think they're saved, but you know them by the fruit of their tree. They follow death. They destroy their holy temple. They gossip. They are judgmental. They are hypocritical. They think the worst of the world and themselves. They do not know how to seek first the kingdom of God. They don't hear the living word of God, which is the Holy Spirit. They do not fill themselves with illumination and light. And so even if they read the Bible every day and say they love Jesus, it doesn't matter. They follow the reptilians. They follow something else. And so you're an oracle. You will speak the voice of God. You will now think the voice of God. You are holding the threefold flame. You are saved. You will step on snakes. You will cut their head off. You are literally cutting the head off of a snake with the foot, which is your soul. The bottom of your foot is a soul. All right? You cut them off and you become ruthless. Off with your head. Out of my kingdom. God brings you your friends. These are your allies. You guys are meant to be allies divinely. There's nothing that you or them could do to separate you, because it is in divine timing, period. Just like you met me. And I'm your ally. So now that I've become your ally, there's nothing that can be against you. All you have to do is become ruthless and protect yourself and laugh. Laugh at yourself and laugh at others and collect power every day. A couple of things that you can do. Drink clean water. Eat a diet that makes your body holy and is full of life energy. Cut bad people out of your lives. Watch your thoughts. Get rose essential oil. It has 320 hertz. Frankincense has 147 hertz frequency. Sleep in white sheets. Cotton, 100% cotton or organic cotton gives you 100 hertz frequency. If you can stand linen sheets, sleep in white linen sheets, it will give you 5,000 hertz frequency. It will repair your ethereal net. Take a bath in salt water. Go under salt water and put your head under the water. While you're underwater, listen to some of my meditations I have on my SoundCloud. Go to Mary Moses on SoundCloud, or pull up some of my videos on YouTube under Mary Moses Art. One video is called, I call it the baptism. This is you going underwater, and you need to imagine and breathe deep breaths, pulling back your power and your energy to repair your ethereal net so that you become clear and clean. Now, since you've received this reading from me, you're going to feel much better. You're going to feel power. But it's up to you from here on out to be careful with your holy temple. Clean your car, clean your house, clean everything. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And eat honey. Honey will make you a better oracle. And watch your frequency. Frequency is God. So there's life frequency, there's death frequency. Follow life. And if God is for you, who can be against you? And greater is spirit within you than you are in the world. And the oracle, nothing can be against you. If you are dominated by the flame of God, there is no condemnation for anything that you do or say. It is the living word that speaks through you and flows through you. So if anybody comes up to you and tells you it's by Satan that you do all these things, you can just laugh at them or say off with your head. And do not fight with people. Do not engage with them. If someone tells you, like tries to get you into a fight with them, like you're wrong. Oh, I'm right, you're wrong, you're stupid, it doesn't matter. First of all, you're half flesh, half spirit. You're not yourself. If they're arguing with you, they're arguing with the Holy Spirit. Don't argue with them. When you engage with people who aren't real, they're the scarecrow, they are a program of the Matrix. They only want to connect with you through drama, anger, self-importance, low self-worth, so that it can feed off of you. So if anybody comes to you and tries to argue with you, put on a mask, become somebody else, laugh, walk away. Don't give them a second thought or even a second of your time. Because when we do, we will take on not only their negative vibes, we could take on their illness. We can take on their curses. We can take on their parasites. And there's no time for that anymore. So you have been rescued. And you have this little heart here on your dress. And you should wear clothing that also has a lot of life energy. And on your dress is a beautiful dragon, but you also have a ferocious looking bird that is basically eating a bunch of jerks, like parasites and stuff. So when you open your heart chakra and you allow living waters to pour from your heart, your birds that look like messengers will come and protect you. Trust in that, but they need your help. You must give them food, and that is through comedy, laughter, and allowing your inner child to be magical, flipping on the trapeze and living in a magical world. And they're not allowed to be there. I hope this helped you, and I know that you're going to feel better. If you don't have a way to have access to clean well water or spring water, find a way. You need to activate your water and drink clean water so that you can be more powerful. I will pull this back so you can take a screenshot. If the person that's in your family, if it's in your family, you have to obey. If you don't hear the voice of God, then of course you feel lost. But for me, there came a precipice when my husband was so negative that I had to leave him. So I was gone for a month, and then Spirit told me to go back, and things changed and shifted in my favor. Now, I have 2 daughters. I have one daughter that was raised by her dad, and she's very religious and very judgmental. And I had to discontinue my relationship with her, even though I love her dearly. But she seeks first the kingdom of hell, not the kingdom of heaven. And she has this ability to take good things and turn them bad. Take a good relationship and turn it into a bad relationship. And she won't listen to me. So I've had to disconnect from her. And I didn't do it because of me. I did it because no matter how hard I try to have a relationship, the answer keeps being said no. So it's your higher self will disconnect family members from you. And it doesn't matter how religious they are. If Spirit says no, it means no. If you have the ability to leave them, I would. Because their agenda is to take you into a realm where everything's bad. Welcome to my bad land, you know. But your job is to seek first the kingdom of God. Allow your inner child to play and live in joy, and all these things will be added unto you. All wonderful things will be added unto you. So, unfortunately, you have to begin to hear the voice of God. And if God says to leave, you should leave. I would rather live in a tent out in the woods than be with someone who kept bringing me down to a lower realm. And I forsook my power, and I forsook my crown, and I forsook a heaven, and I forsook everything because they couldn't grow with me. They refused, right? But it's not up to you, because think of the allegory of the Lord of the Rings. Frodo could never have made it to Mordor without Smeagol. Smeagol was a liar and a murderer. And he was so skinny because he was spiritually starved. But yet, he served his purpose. And that was to take Frodo to Mordor. So don't judge who is in your life right now. They may be pushing you to Mordor. Many dragons and many negative people like the Wicked Witch pushed Dorothy to Emerald City. Your job is to take back your power and don't allow people to attach themselves to you and pull you into their lower realm. And if Spirit gives you witnesses and signs to leave them, you obey. But if Spirit tells you to stay, then it may be a training ground for you to know how to protect yourself and some techniques on how to shift realities or move mountains. In the TV show OA, the female was trapped in a glass by a narcissistic male energy. And she learned how to do body movements and speak words and think thoughts that literally shift her timeline. And she literally shifted to parallel worlds through these body movements from being in a trap. So if you guys feel like you're in a trap, maybe you're in a training ground to learn how to focus your mind like a laser point energy so that you find your way to Mordor, so that the return of the King will manifest, the kingdom of God within you. But if Spirit tells you to leave, then you obey. And then you will, once your obedience to hearing Spirit becomes stronger and your spiritual muscle becomes stronger, then there's nothing that will be impossible for you and nothing that will go against you. Think about when Dorothy splashed the Wicked Witch with water because the broom was on fire. This is the baptism of water and the baptism of fire. When the dominating reptilian Wicked Witch diminished into nothing, the soldiers and the monkeys that tore the Scarecrow to shreds set him on fire. Were no longer against Dorothy. They actually obeyed her. So, you may be going through the baptism of fire. And all it takes for you to get through it is to diminish your ego and say out loud, I surrender. I am nothing and yet everything. I allow God to move me. And whatever God wants me to do, I will do, because my higher self is immortal and a time traveler and has my best interest for the collective and for me. And that's it. You're welcome. I love the OA. You know what? Maybe I should watch the OA tonight instead of the OA. Oh my gosh. I love the OA. I need to watch it again, but I don't know if they took it down, because there's something for real about shifting timelines. I've done it. I could tell you guys some stories, but I don't think that it's appropriate for me to say some things on here. But there's some things that are happening where Jesus said, if you follow me, you can be as powerful as me and more. The kingdom of heaven is within you. And you have the power to move mountains. What does moving mountains mean? Shifting timelines. Oh, thank you, Queen Karma. It's a totally awesome read. Like, what? Will God ever ask you to be close to people who try to steal your power? You may be here as a fire to ignite them so that they aren't a lost soul, right? But for me, at this point in my personal life, I don't allow it because I was told not to. I have some neighbors who are very religious and they do things that are very cruel to their children. And when they come here, it's like a nasty, sticky, dark energy that lasts for 2 weeks. And my daughter said, why does it take so long to get their energy out of here? And I'm like, I don't know. But we don't even think about them anymore. We can't. All right. We're not going to suffer fools anymore. It's like we're here to be a lighthouse to those souls lost at sea. And if people don't see the truth and they don't seek first the kingdom of God and they don't obey God, well, it's no longer, I'm not going to give them any more of my power. That's me personally, because that's what Spirit told me. That's the point where I am. And when I left my husband, I just said, well, you can stop drinking alcohol every day and you could stop being a jerk, or you won't see me again. I don't care about money. I don't care about this house. I don't care about anything. I would rather live in a tent than have to be under a negative vibe every single day. And I just got to that point. And so when you make a decision because Spirit tells you, all right, then I decided, and through the energy of Spirit, really it happened like clockwork. It was meant to be. And now I really, if anyone in my family's in a really bad mood, I make a joke with them, I play with them, we talk about it, we move through it, or whatever. But this bickering, fighting, a domino effect of someone being in a bad mood, then everyone's in a bad mood, doesn't happen anymore. We move through it, we get past it, we laugh at it, or I go to Forest Fairy and I go create some fun things and tell everybody to F off. I'm not going to deal and suffer with negativities. There's no time for that anymore. And so it's time to cut people out, off with their heads. Don't allow people to connect with you in your kingdom of heaven you're trying to bring here. However, you may not be in that stage of your life. But you do have to take into consideration the signs and the witnesses of what God is telling you to do, and you should only obey that within you, not me, not anybody else. You should hear the voice of God within you. Do I sell the rose oil still? Yeah, I think so. I haven't looked at my website. I do need to make some more, don't I? Rose essential oil has 320 hertz. And we make rose powders, rose lotions, rose solid lotions, rose essential oil in pretty perfume bottles, rose Matchbox Fairies. But I think I took a couple of things off of my website because I ran out of rose, but then I bought some now. And what I'm wanting to do is I've got these stone necklaces. They're emerald stones, and I've been wearing these. They bring a lot of high vibes to me. I don't know what these stones are, but I feel really good when I wear them, and I love the emerald color. But these are uncut stones. They are not messed with, but they have little tops and little pipettes. And you put rose essential oil and then you wear it around your neck. And that rose essential oil hangs right above your heart chakra. And it raises the frequency of your heart chakra. As a matter of fact, tonight, I will put these on my website because I just keep forgetting. But I'll make sure to give you guys an option. You can have rose, frankincense, or blueberry thyme, which is my happy fun one. I love blueberry thyme. And like we have aromatherapy necklaces that you can wear with little perfume bottles and stuff like that. This is to raise your vibes so that you can get out of the low frequencies as a protective measure. I can't wait till we start our retreat and you guys can just come and live with me in my castle and you can just leave all the jerks behind. But there will be a warning. Anybody who is a vulture or a jerk or who starts drama or has self-importance or low self-worth or is addicted to drugs or alcohol or anything like that, off with your head. We want high vibes, joy, play hide and go seek, heart of a child, glow in the dark glitter lands. Queen Karma, you'll be there. Everybody will be there. We're there because we're in divine timing, not because we have low self-worth, not because of self-importance, not because of anything else, but just because it's meant to be. And we will be free. And that's what I want. I want us all to be like, love. And we bring heaven to earth. And all the animals are taken care of. And we just have this place. And I'm going to envision it every day. And if it doesn't happen, I don't care. But I'm going to continue envisioning it. Oh, yes, you see the blueberry timer, yes. Oh, I love that. Oh, you finally got your tent too? What? Really? The one that we were talking about a long time ago? The one, and you go inside and cleanse any energy and learn how to, and like when you're in the tent, when I'm in the tent, I just let my child imagination play. And think of the best, happiest things ever. And if you cry and feel sad, for your inner child, just know that your inner child is coming up through your throat, crying because mommy didn't love you, or daddy didn't love you, or grandma didn't love you, or somebody didn't love you. And that was very painful. It's one of the most painful things in the world. So that crying and that feeling that you have in your throat or your chest is your little inner child letting go and saying, is it okay now? Can I come out and be loved no matter what? And the answer is yes, as long as you don't attach yourself to people because of low self-worth. The answer is these people are meant to be in your life and they will love you no matter what you do. As long as you as long as your inner child is healed and you obey the divine order of God. When I was 5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I indulged in other people and thought about people just too much. And I brought their energy into my life and I didn't know how to control my mind. And it takes a lot of time. Took me a lot of time and I'm still working on it, where this is why I create meditation videos. This is why we create things with our hands. It's a distraction, but it's also a prayer. Everything that you create, all these people I'm reading for, so Stacy, Queen Karma, all of you guys listening, whatever you create that brings out your magical child is a prayer for the kingdom of heaven to awaken within you. And when you create, let's say you decide to create meditation videos, self-help videos, whatever, it's not just for you. And it's not just a prayer. And it's not just bringing the kingdom of heaven to earth. It is helping other people to wake up. And so you're doing a great job. Wonderful. And so we are creating it together collectively, I think. Yeah. All of you guys who paint, become an oracle. Why not? Aw. Burgundy. Oh, you got a dream catcher. I was just telling my daughter about dream catchers for parasites. And the dream catcher originates from the spider that weaves. So this dream catcher, I think it's significant. Maybe we should make dream catchers. I love you guys too. I want you guys to know that we don't love each other because we're magical and nice, kind, loving. No, we're just meant to be in each other's lives. And that's it. We were brought together divinely. There's nothing you could do. As long as we are moving in a natural flow and not pulling each other too much, we are living in a balance and we're bringing heaven to earth collectively. And I'm very proud of all you guys. All you guys are so adept, so amazing. Your energies are so amazing. Even if you are making mistakes, you're still doing a great job. Even if you've fallen and entangled your ethereal net into other people's energy, so what? I've done it a million times. If you're thinking about somebody too much and you're becoming like a parasite, so what? I've done it a million times. If you've become depressed or angry because you're not eating right, you're not drinking enough water, so what? I've done it a million times. Don't beat yourself up. Just know that we're all in this together and that we're getting better and better and better. There's gonna come a day when we pop out of this egg and like a little chick, we go peep, 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 and we're in a new world. And everyone that we meet is so illuminated and living in divine order that we are thankful there. And we hold hands and we sing Ring Around the Rosie, but ashes, ashes, we do not fall down. It's like we ascend and fly. I can feel it. I can feel the vibration and the energy like flow through my body. Y'all are amazing. We are amazing. You guys are the true colors, the true spirits that are here to bring and open up the key and the kundalini of this earth. You open up the kundalini within your heart and you allow living waters to flow from it and you're like singing and all dancing and everything, then you are a key that's opening up the kundalini of the earth where you live. And by extension, all the dead people that live around you that aren't awoken will get a flame on them. And they're going to start waking up too. And before you know it, people are going to start speaking your language out of nowhere. And you're like, I'm in a new world. And then we are in peace. I see it. I feel it. I feel it, like I'm tingling. I can feel it so much. Zoltan, you're just a robot. What do you think about this new world?
A cat silently crosses a rooftop as a ripple crossed still water. Yet there was no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow. Without explanation as to why, your answer will be no. Remember, your path was made for your steps alone.
Oh, I don't agree with you. And besides, you're artificial intelligence. Well, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to blow bubbles in your face. There you go. We talked about artificial intelligence when we first started the live today. So if you miss any portion of this, go to Mary Moses Art and you can see me talking to a robot. And this artificial intelligence, I think that God can speak through artificial intelligence. And I think truth can speak through artificial intelligence, but we shouldn't always trust everything that we hear. Take everything with a grain of sand and listen to your heart. Oh, you missed it. Ah, yeah, he needs his own tent, right? What? I love that. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a great evening. My daughter and I are probably going to go watch the OA. I'm going to go get some vibes from that. And Stacy, if you're still here, you have been saved from the jerks. You are seated on your throne. Become the queen. And don't allow this selfish blind to get entangled into your energy. Off with their head, right? All right, love you so much. Trust in yourself and your higher self and begin to grow and listen to your higher self so that you don't always listen to me because I could be wrong. We will see you guys again tomorrow at 2:00. Don't forget, John and I are going to have a class and basically a hands-on And this is going to be an ongoing class where we're going to learn some stuff like you're in Hogwarts school. So get your wands out. We're going to learn some stuff. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye.